All
You're
right, I
live.
think.
You're live.
Hello, my name's Jenova,
And I'm Gene Skinner. Hi, chat.
and this is the Heretic Channel. Today, we are going to be talking about zombie movies, all
Yes.
zombie movies, all kinds of them. But before we start, Captain Rhodes,
Was torn
Joe,
apart by zombies, as
he was
was
torn apart
predicted.
by zombies. He's dead. Joe Pilato, I believe his name is Joe
Yeah.
Pilato. He's no longer running the monkey farm down here. He's up in heaven running that monkey farm up there.
Well, at least he can be with all the zombies. I guess the zombies go to heaven.
I don't know. Shit. Can zombies find religion?
Zombies find religion.
Can they? I mean, I guess that gives a whole new meaning to born again. But we might as well start at the beginning with Night of the Living Dead
Yeah.
and George A. Romero.
I mean, technically, that's where the more modern zombies come from. So that was
Right.
not the first zombie movie. One of the first ones was actually White Zombie, which was a
Right.
Bela Lugosi film.
Right, with Rob Zombie.
It was Rob Zombie. He really likes that film, actually. I think that's where he got his name from, was White Zombie.
Yeah. He definitely did. But those were more like witch doctor sort of hoodoo zombies.
Yeah.
But we're definitely talking about the Romero zombie, the one that started it all, really.
Yes.
And gives you your zombies that you see today. Something that everybody talks about, has all this social commentary in it, but George A. Romero admits that he just picked the black guy because he was the best actor.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until after all of that the social commentary really kind of started.
Yeah. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Right. And that's the thing about this. You always see a lot of people get mad when zombies use tools and things like that. But from the get-go, they were using tools.
Yeah, they use a number of things.
Yeah, they use a brick. There's a guy with like a hammer trying to break into the house. That little girl, she kills her dad with a spade.
Yep.
Not a black person, but a gardening utensil.
Wait, that you mean? Oh.
Ding, 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 ding. But
I'm sure the SLPC would be suing us right now if they weren't currently disbanded.
Good. Let them be disbanded.
I know.
They collapse under themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first Night of the Living Dead, I mean, it's a classic. They always play it on like Halloween and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good in black and white. I don't really necessarily like the colorized version of it. But it is the only black and white version of the whole of the Dead series.
Yes, it is, because color came out soon after when the other productions were coming about in the 70s for Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead.
Right. Now, I personally, I prefer the remake of Night of the Living Dead to the original, in my opinion. The 90s remake with Tony Todd as the main character. I don't know why. I just prefer the characters there. I prefer the acting. I think the zombies look better.
Yeah.
Even though, you can't really compare the special effects, I guess, the makeup.
Yeah, you can't really compare something from the 60s to something from the 90s, effects-wise, and everything else. Because the 60s, most of the stuff they ended up using was like, still shit you'd see in not movies, but theaters and stuff, where they would have like ghost paint, ghost coloring, and all this other shit. The blood was actually all chocolate sauce, I think.
Right.
Because it's just in black and white, and it's to get that like more color of how blood would be in black and white, and because ketchup was actually not as thick and was really thin at the time because it was more vinegar based, you needed like chocolate sauce.
Yeah, who came up with the chocolate sauce?
I don't remember who came up.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Maybe it was Alfred Hitchcock. There's a lot of people that used that for like black and white blood too. There's other stuff they used. It was either chocolate sauce sometimes or it was actual paint.
That makes sense.
Yep.
It could definitely be. I mean, they've got all kinds of tips and tricks, and it really isn't until we get to Dawn of the Dead where we get, Tom Savini
Yeah, the makeup with Tom Savini and everything else, and you have the stuff with exploding heads chopped off, you know, skin getting torn into, the machete. It's very classic when he puts that in a zombie's head.
Right.
'Cause it's actually a casting molder it cuts to. It's a very nice photography trick.
They look very blue in Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, they do. They look more like what you would expect a corpse to look, because a corpse without blood and everything else is said to be more bluish and things. But if I were to actually say it, I think that's even a little bit too pale for how dead bodies would look, even if
Yeah.
they were sickly, because most of the time you do not turn that blue unless it's severe hypothermia. And that
Yeah.
would make, you know, the damage to the body and cells be impossible to do anything, let alone move.
Yeah, but this
I know realism in zombie movies, but I'm just saying.
it's a movie, Gene.
I'm just saying.
The dead have come back.
Yes, and there's no room in hell.
Yeah, there's no room in hell, so the dead walk the earth. But we don't ever really get a clear reason why, do we? I mean,
No,
I
you
think
never.
there's something about a satellite that blows up and there's radiation or something.
Something about a satellite or a meteor passing by Earth, like just like Stephen King would put, you know,
Oh, yeah, of course.
like in Maximum Overdrive.
Mhm.
Because that was apparently, though, that was supposed to be aliens trying to take over the Earth or some shit, and they get blown up. I don't know, it's weird.
You blow them up.
But in the first movie, it kind of seems like it's more, at least how they portray it, like some kind of national emergency where some kind of biological agent got out that wasn't supposed to get out. And this
Right.
was before the time when we really started working with biological agents and stuff like that, because it's the 60s still.
Right.
Though, actually, if I'm trying to remember, I think one of the things they said is it got out because of LSD being tested. I know, right? A movie in the hippie era where it's LSD is the thing that gets people fucking into zombies.
LSD turns you into a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Not with my experience on LSD. You don't want to eat nothing.
No.
But yeah, Night of the Living Dead becomes the it becomes the base for every zombie movie after that, really.
Yeah.
And everything you see is basically
well, I'd say it lays the groundwork for a lot of stuff for the zombie genre. It leads the like slow zombies, the everything else, but it does not lead the distinctiveness that you see in a lot more zombie films with the brains, the eating of flesh, because that comes from my favorite zombie movie, Return of the Living Dead.
Yes, that's a very good one.
Yes.
The Dan O'Bannon.
Yep.
It's a Dan O'Bannon. I don't think he directed it, right? He wrote it.
He wrote it. Let's see. Let me check. I'll check real quick.
I think he
here.
Copyrighted Living Dead.
Yeah, of Living Dead. Yeah, so that's why it was, you know,
Right.
that's why it couldn't be used again by George, because he was the one who helped George produce Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
Return of the Living Dead. It says directed by Dan O'Bannon.
Oh,
and it
okay.
says so it's directed and written by Dan O'Bannon.
Okay. Well, it shows because
Yes.
it's a great film.
Yep.
You have you get the iconic tar man.
Yep.
Who loves to eat brains.
Brains.
The leader of the punks comes running down the steps, and he turns around right. And he's like brains, and he just takes a chunk right out of his head. It's gross.
Romero is king and O'Bannon is a charlatan heathens. Yeah, okay, Zach.
All right. Let's relax with that one, Zach. Romero, he's the charlatan.
I mean, they both made it, so they're both charlatans in that regard if they're going to blame each other or anything else. I'm just saying for the more distinctiveness of the idea of brains definitely comes from O'Bannon's film, because John never mentioned it in any of his films. The zombies don't even talk till Day of the Dead.
Right, and they eat the brains in Return of the Living Dead because that stops the pain of being dead.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And do you remember what actually causes the whole thing anyways? That was the explanation for why they came to be in Night of the Living Dead. It's a fertilizer the government was using, or no, it's an insecticide, a pesticide, but it was used as it has this whole thing where it brings people back to life. Or brings dead things back to life. Yes, that's the whole thing. It's a gas. It's a special gas that does it. They had to contain it. That's why that. Yeah.
Does it bring the bugs back to life?
It kills the bugs, actually. It doesn't bring them back to life. It brings dead, like, other animal matter back to life, though. Like any kind.
Like Jews?
Yes. How did you know?
Don't gas the Jews. They'll just come back.
Mm-hmm. But that's why when they try burning the bodies, it just releases that gas, and that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it brings more dead shit back to life when it rains.
Right, yeah.
It
rains down, and then everybody starts coming back. And then, like, there's the whole thing in, like, Night of the Living Dead where even if, like, even if you die from something that's not a zombie, you still come back as a zombie.
Yeah.
So it has something to do with the radiation or the gas or whatever that is.
Yeah, if
depending,
right? Depending on whose story you're listening to. And O'Bannon's explained that it's the gas because it's basically that fertilizer that's used. It's in the controlled area of that certain town, and that's why that happened. And they were able to contain it, and that's why they're also able to contain it in Return of the Living Dead as well, because they nuke it and it actually vaporizes all the gas, but there's still bodies. So the bodies had to be captured and put back in the container.
And Return of the Living Dead it's a fun movie.
Oh yeah, it's very fun. It's a very fun ride.
It's a fun ride. There's a lot of comedy to it. There's good actors. You've got what's her name? Quigley.
Yeah, Lena Quigley is trash.
She's in it. Yeah, naked as hell as always.
The funny thing is though, she technically wasn't fully naked because that whole thing is actually just a plastic strap over where her private should be because it's the 70s and she had a lot of hair.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, that big old bush.
Yep.
But then you get Dawn of the Dead is fun.
Yep.
Dawn of the Dead is one of those movies that just kind of starts, and you're not really eased into it. They're in the apartments, they're getting attacked by the dead.
Yep.
They're taking all those people on. They're getting some Ken Foray is kicking zombie ass.
I still always find it funny, as we've mentioned before a few times, that the guys who are supposed to be the elite SWAT units end up like breaking down, going insane when they have everything. When they had nothing, they were fine.
Right. Of course, because there's got to be some reason why they can't just be like tough guys that know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they've got to lose it somehow.
Yeah, it's only that guy that loses it. Ken actually keeps his head the entire time and says you're gonna fucking lose your head by being a fucking dumbass, and he ends up getting bit. Not just once, but like 2 times.
Always. There's always somebody who gets bit. Yep. You can never escape it for too long.
No.
You can try and you can try. Even if you lock yourself away, eventually you're going to get bit somehow because there's going to be some kind of zombie you forgot about in the area where you've locked yourself in.
Yep.
Or you
have Road Warriors led by Tom Savini coming in and ruining your mall paradise.
Right. I mean, what do you expect? It's a fucking mall.
Yeah.
Of course people are going to go there. It's got everything you need. Would you think you're the only one with this idea? How long were they on their way there before those people got there and made it their home?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's very, that's why I was really excited when Dead Rising came out, that game where you fight zombies in the mall.
Yeah.
And they had to put up some words that were like, this is in no way related to George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. It's like, yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
That idea is too iconic for you to just come up with it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to do that for legal reasons, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, don't want to get fucking sued.
I don't know why. Like, well, why don't you just ask? I'm sure Romero would give you the rights to it.
Maybe. It's always hard to say when you have an IP that's that iconic.
I mean, it's just for the video game, right? Like, can't you just do it for the video game?
Mm.
What'd you think of the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
I did not care for it that much.
Yeah, is that a Zack Snyder film?
I think so.
His stuff is always really bleak.
We won't even talk about the other ones that Romero made himself, like Diary of the Dead. That was absolutely.
Oh, we should talk about Diary of the Dead.
Oh God.
Let's talk about what a trash heap that is.
Yeah, it's really.
We can't talk about that. First, you got to talk about Land of the Dead.
Oh, right.
We just got Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
And John Leguizamo's in it.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, that's him. John Leguizamo. He's in it, and his name is Cholo, and he plays a
A
Latin
cholo.
assassin.
He plays a cholo in it. Yeah.
He plays a fucking cholo who gets mad because what is the name of that tower? Fiddler Green or something? Fiddler's Green is the name of the tower.
Yeah.
And that's got Argento in it. Asia Argento's in it, and then it's got a little cameo from Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. They play zombies in there. But the whole thing about that, I remember that catching a lot of heat because the main zombie, Big Daddy, the black gas station attendant who's got the gun, people were upset because their zombie was learning and like using tools and shit like that.
You know, they've done that before anyways, and it lays the whole groundwork for it, and they lay even more groundwork for that in like Day too. So
yeah, and it's supposed to be a continuation of that groundwork that's laid in Day with Bub.
Yep.
But people were like upset about it, and you had to be like, are you really? Is this your first zombie film? Have you not seen other zombie films? Are you not a fan of the series to begin with?
Yeah,
because they really didn't like it. But I Land of the Dead had some okay parts in it. I like the part where the zombies, they walk through the water and they go underneath the water, and then they pop up like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's a fucking trash fire. That movie. They've got some okay ideas, like Dead Reckoning, like the big train bus thing that they drive around that shoots missiles and fireworks and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And I guess they tried to redo that in the Dawn of the Dead remake with that bus that they made.
I guess
to like get out of there. But that's one of my favorite things I like about zombie films, though, is like the fortification. So where you're fortifying your house or your vehicles, shit like that.
I mean, obviously, I would say siege to everything, but that's just me.
I knew that was going to come
up. Break it all down. Let the zombies in. They won't harm you. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. But Land is definitely not as bad as Diary of the Dead or Survival of the Dead.
Yeah.
Both of those are pretty fucking bad. And they are Romero flicks.
It's because he was trying to jump onto trends, maybe other people, to make a fucking film. And that pulled him off well because of the shitty trends to begin with.
Like, motherfucker, you invented the trend. You don't have to jump on everybody's doing it because of you. You don't have to jump on and then like completely ruin your ruin your reputation as a good filmmaker with that shit.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you that these older directors, they're so out of touch with the new age and shit like that. They have no idea what's happening.
No.
But
like John Carpenter's Thousand-Year Stare, when I saw him in the fucking In Search of Darkness thing, where he looks like he's literally on Quaaludes.
Oh, he probably is. He probably just wants a cigarette so bad because he quit.
Yeah,
I guess. Just smoke. Jesus Christ, John. We don't need you around always to keep making movies. People gotta learn when to let go. You gotta learn when to let go.
But Ronald Reagan.
But then like there were some other sci-fi, like Rave of the Living Dead and Dance of the Living Dead or something like that. And all those movies, I don't remember watching them. I just remember when they came out. And I think they had come out around the time of Land, maybe a little bit after that.
Yeah,
but they were definitely like a sci-fi asylum flicks, you know.
Yeah, where it's just really kind of just, this came direct to DVD or for a television thing, and that's about it.
Yeah, they were like some kind of special event. But once you get outside of George A. Romero's whole series, I guess you could say, like from Night all the way to Survival. Then you start to get things like Shaun of the Dead.
Yep.
Which is really good.
You also get Fido too, which is another decent film because
Fido, yes, I remember that one. Yeah, you start to get more like unique takes on the whole zombie thing.
Yeah.
Sort of like you kind of see with superheroes, you know?
Yeah.
Like the base has been set, it's been cemented. And now people are going outside the rules to to give you something new and different and unique.
And Jenova's on the other side there, turning into a zombie already.
I've admitted this 100 times. I am the guy that hides his zombie bite just so I can get into the quarantine area. You will have to check and double check me for bites because I'm not telling you shit.
Agent Jenova Z.
World War Z. There we go. We're gonna talk about World War Z and how bad that is.
Oh god.
That whole thing with like Brad Pitt and like some of that takes place in Israel, right? So I'm sure Esau loves that movie.
I'm sure he does too.
And like the weird CGI zombies, and they're like crawling up each other, and they make them. They're almost like a wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big fan of that. I like the book, and I know the book is different, but somebody said that's Mel Brooks's kid who wrote that book.
Yeah, it is, I believe.
And then you get shit like Cockney versus Zombies. I've never seen that, but I've always seen the poster for it. You know,
yeah.
I'm sure it's some type of, Shaun of the Dead was after Shaun of the Dead. You got Shaun of the Dead sort of had the same effect that Night of the Living Dead had, where you started getting these
comedy zombie movies, yeah.
right, that people wanted to give their own twist on them, and you got like Juan of the Dead and shit like that.
Juan of the Dead, yeah.
But nobody can really do it as well as Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Shaun of the Dead came out at a perfect time. People wanted zombies. These guys were obviously fans of zombies.
Yeah.
And they had come up with some unique things.
I just love the idea that the British person's idea of being safe is let's go to the pub and hold out till the zombie apocalypse fucking ends. Yeah, of course that's it. Let's just go to the pub and wait for us to leave the EU. That's what it's really about, film-wise.
Yeah. You go to the pub and just wait for everything to blow over.
Yeah.
And that did not work out well for them.
Yeah.
And then you get movies like there's an Australian movie called Wormwood. It's kind of like Mad Max during a zombie apocalypse.
Because everyone knows that the only thing Australia is good for is Mad Max.
Yes, of course. And in that movie, the zombies have like some sort of gas that comes out of their mouths, and people they basically take their car and make it so the zombie, they put like a mask over the zombie's face, and there's a tube that goes to the engine, and that gas that comes from the zombie can run the car. So it's almost like NOS, right?
Yeah.
And it makes the car like super fast and work really well, unless your zombie gets hit.
Yeah.
But Wormwood's kind of like a fun ride. There's a lot of people who did not like it. I enjoyed it. It's got some good special effects, a lot of blood.
Well, if we're talking about special effects in zombie movies, then my favorite with this, just how over the top the effects are has to be Dead Alive.
Dead Alive is damn good.
Yep.
As a Peter Jackson flick, right?
Yep, that is a Peter Jackson flick before he became famous.
Yeah, I wish he would go back to horror movies.
He should, yeah.
He really should, because he is not doing his best anymore.
No.
But
everything's got to be Lord of the Rings because I love Lord of the Rings. It's got to be just so perfect. I'm going to make the books and the movies. Yeah, well, not everyone pictures a book the same way, buddy.
It's going to be fucking six 4-hour movies of this stupid book that nobody cares about. Get over it. Oh, it's part of my. Oh, it's just so part of my childhood. I don't care. I hate Lord of the Rings. It's so boring. Um,
Everything walks in that movie. Even the trees walk in that movie.
But what about the effects? Day of the Dead's got good effects.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with Tom Savini in it is going to have really good effects.
Well, I mean, obviously, the zombies in Day of the Dead are all about Ronald Reagan.
Of course, obviously, or fucking Trump and immigration.
Because they went through that wall. It just doesn't work. Walls just don't work.
How about Resident Evil zombies?
Well, those are different because those are basically made from a virus found specifically in a type of plant. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that's right. That's where they find the T virus.
The progenitor virus, yes,
right,
the T virus.
Right.
And the whole thing of why they had the stuff that works for it in a certain way is because it's the biological weapons were made from this dude that basically had the exact kind of genetic sequence that could be used to make the tyrants.
Right. But we don't really get to it. We don't even get tyrants in the first movie, do we?
In the first movie? I don't think so.
No, I think they mention it at the end.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because the movies are so shit compared to the video games.
They really are. They just go downhill.
Yeah.
They start off not bad, and then they just slowly spiral into shit.
Yep.
And everything's just big, flashy CGI and front kicks and flips.
Ooh, flip. Ooh, look at this Matrix. You like Matrix, right? Ooh. It's been 10 years, but everyone still likes the Matrix. Like, ooh.
You like Mila Jovovich half naked or in latex, right?
Besides the fact that the director is married to her. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's got any work.
Yeah.
But I definitely like Resident Evil 2 remake. Resident Evil 4, the zombies. Oh, I guess they're not zombies in Resident Evil 4.
Technically, they are still kind of the Las Plagas, which is basically a type of parasite that was made from the progenitor virus or some shit 1,000 bajillion years ago, and they lived like dinosaurs and got it from a cave and all this other shit. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, because it's not Italy. But
yeah, it's not Italy and not Spain.
Right. It's Malta. I guess.
Malta, known for many things like Gusio, the talking duck. Gusio.
Now, here's a question that you and I were asking ourselves, and I'm sure chat would like to chime in on this. Are they zombies in Evil Dead? Or do the Deadites not count as zombies?
Yeah.
Because I think we decided that they were basically demons.
Like possessed, really, is how I see it.
Right, but then that goes to when you go to a movie like Wreck,
mm-hmm.
That is supposed to be demon possession too, but they're very much
zombie-ish, yeah.
They're very much zombies in Wreck.
Hawk is saying not zombies.
Not zombies. Demons. I would have to agree.
Deadites aren't zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying the fact it's funny, though, that they're, in human bodies and basically take over them and warp them in a certain way, too.
Right.
But I see it more as the fact, like I've mentioned, too, when we were talking, that they're more like the actual Doom possessed, where the possessed of any, person gets morphed in some way or the other.
Right.
Yo, read my comment. Jacob Manning, the Devil's Play video on Solid or music 1 sec at no time need for backwards music. Yo, read my comment. I'm the Devil Play video or song or music 1 sec at a time. Okay.
We read it. What does it mean?
I'm the devil.
Somebody translate, please.
Play my music, and 1 second you will hear the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, the
devil. And there was a so the zombies in Record, even though it's kind of demon possession, we consider those zombies. We don't consider the Deadite zombies. And we were also discussing 28 days, 28 weeks later.
But it's the rage virus, man. They're
That's the
totally
rage.
infected.
Those are rage zombies.
Yeah.
Or are they just cannibals?
Or are they just rabies?
Because they're not people that come back from the dead.
No.
They're just people infected with anger and rage. Right?
So they're infected with staying at the DMV or being caught in traffic. I'm so mad.
Yeah. A little bit of monkey blood drops in your eye, and all of a sudden you're fucking. This is how AIDS gets started.
Yeah, it is.
And the chat can chime in there too if they think 28 days later those are zombies or not. I guess they're like.
I
mean, they're not even
the devil.
cannibals.
No,
they
technically don't eat flesh.
Right.
They just scratch people and everything else until the infection spreads. So just because they're mad or they kill people.
Yeah. I mean, it has zombie aspects to it, especially if you watch like 28 Weeks Later, like when they're all stuck in that facility, and he's and what's his name? I can't remember the actor's name, but he's infected and he's kind of stuck in there with them, and everybody's like running away and everybody's trying to stay safe from the outbreak and everything like that. Now there was a Korean zombie movie that came out recently called Train to Busan. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Train to Busan.
Right.
Busan.
Yeah, that was a very good zombie movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It wasn't necessarily different, but they didn't do a lot of your usual zombie scenes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Jacob? You'll hear extra shit on anything, even your video, while I'm tapping on time bar. Sorry, but I'm the devil. News videos are best, trust me, but it's all a lie about hearing voices. You can listen 1 second at a time and hear people bitching at you. It's selfie bit.
Okay, Daddy, thanks.
All right, whatever.
Great, you made a new name and came to troll. I'm happy. All right, great. Thanks, the devil. The devil.
This doesn't make any sense. It's not even sentences.
So is this Ronald Reagan? Has he come to haunt us?
It's Ronald Reagan's ghost. Yeah. Train to Busan was something else. It was very brutal. There's a lot of brutality in it, which I enjoyed a lot. The Koreans, they pump out some pretty good films. But I remember when that came out, when Train to Busan came out, it was on the top of everybody's list. Everybody was enjoying it. Everybody was recommending it. I think they're making a sequel to it.
I don't know.
I heard that. Now, there's always rumors swirling around, but I mean, it was successful enough where it could probably get a sequel.
Yeah.
He's the devil and he's here to do the devil's work. Is the zombie quote.
Yeah. That is something. Are you a chicken fucker? Did you fuck this chicken? Do you fuck these chickens?
What about I Am Legend? Now, in the original I Am Legend thing, they're vampires.
Yes.
But
in the Vincent Price one they are, and there's the other one too, where they're also like, it kind of leans towards zombies with some of the things they do, but they still talk. They have their shinies and everything else. And
do they actually die and come back? Because I think that is a big checkpoint for.
I don't remember if they do or not. It's just they get infected and then they quote unquote die.
It's a cancer drug that turns them into whatever they are, right?
Yeah.
At least in the Will Smith one.
Yeah, in the original one, it is like it's a disease that's going on, which basically makes it so the cancer does, quote unquote, do that to you. So it basically doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So the whole thing is that it's supposed to cure cancer, but it spreads a certain other kind of cancer in your body, which makes it so you're basically a vampire.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it all depends on how you want to look at your zombies. I mean, some people they do consider the 28 days later zombies. They consider those zombies, for their own
Yeah.
viewing pleasure. That's fine with me. But
Viewing pleasure.
I would say you'd have to die and come back. That's a big thing for being a zombie.
And that is also still born from the Haitian legend too, because it was a whole thing of them raising from the graves. But actually, they technically didn't die; they were put into a coma by pufferfish, and then people just dug them up.
I think that really happened to a
Yeah, it did.
One of Wes Craven's producers.
That may have happened to him. Just remember, there's been documented cases of it too. Like a guy basically forgot his entire life and was working on a plantation field as a slave. He walks back to his family and then remembered everything. He had brain damage was the problem.
I just always remember a story that they would tell. Wes Craven would tell, or they tell it whenever they talk about the serpent and the rainbow.
Oh yeah, that one.
And they just like they had a funeral for the guy and everything, and then a couple years later he showed back up at Wes Craven's door.
Yeah.
How do you get out of that shit? You're just on set of a movie and you disappear and everybody just assumes you're dead. But
yeah, because they were they actually filming it in Haiti? Is that where that fucking was?
I think so.
That was a mistake. Number one, don't go film in fucking Haiti of all places. Just go to the Dominican Republic. It's the same island. Yes. They're not fucking creepy ass over there. Jesus, like how stupid could you be to go film this actual film about voodoo in a place where voodoo and hoodoo actually exist, or go to New Orleans? Like fuck.
Yeah, there are a lot of different locations you can go to, but I guess when you're trying to be authentic.
Oh, fuck authenticity. Just fucking go somewhere else.
Yes, I agree, especially for the safety of you and your crew.
Yeah, fuck Haiti.
Yeah, you don't need to go. You don't need to go there at all. I can't remember the chemical name of the zombie powder. It was mentioned in Bill Pullman's show, though, in the film of all things. Yeah, because I think it's some kind of powder.
It's fugu fish powder. There's fugu in it. So it's pufferfish. Because the pufferfish poison, it's a tetrodotoxin. That's what causes the prolapse thing where you're basically all your motor skill functions shut down. But they're not dead. You're just basically poisoned and they think you're dead because it stops your heart and everything else. You're still alive. They know how to do it if they do it correctly.
Yeah, and they talk about that. That's a big that's the reason they go there in Serpent and the Rainbow, because they're looking for this powder because they want to use it for medicine or something.
Yeah, wasn't the guy who was the main villain in Serpent and Rainbow like a drug lord for the Haitian gangs or something?
Yeah, and I think there's also another movie where a woman poisons her husband with the pufferfish stuff, and he dies, but he comes back, but they think he's a zombie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about the part in Creepshow.
Yep.
The story in Creepshow. There's a couple zombie stuffs in Creepshow with
because the monkey's paw thing with that fucking statue, and the guy comes back.
There's the monkey paw one. There's the one with Leslie Nielsen.
Yep.
Where
it's my birthday.
Yes, there's that one. So there's, Tales from the Hood. The first story is a zombie comes back and kills a bunch of cops.
Mm-hmm. We could always talk about Zombieland.
Zombieland was big when it came out because I think that was right during like the middle of the hype. It was like at the peak of it all.
Yeah.
And everybody like knew the rules for, zombies, and it sort of became this accepted thing that like if a zombie outbreak did occur, it would be over almost instantly because everybody knew what to do.
Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that there actually ever was a plague or virus like that, what would happen anyways? It's just that we have massive quarantines in the United States.
Right. Isn't that video game Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's like the cordyceps. I don't know if it's a virus or a bug parasite, the cordyceps parasite. which is like something that actually happens in nature.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's there are like a few actual viruses that have like ways to invade cells and cause things to happen like that with slugs and stuff, but they don't transmit to humans. I mean, the whole point of why the slugs have it is so they can feed on birds. There's no predators for humans.
Right. But isn't there like deer ones too?
There might be, but I don't think it passes the same way.
Plants do it to ants.
Yeah.
That's what Hawk said.
Yeah, they do it to a number of organisms. What's actually interesting, if we're talking about organisms that evolved to attack mammals or to attack bigger organisms, there's a type that actually kills bats too, where it's a white fungus that basically goes into the bat's nose and stops it from doing the processes that keep it alive during winters and stuff.
Guano.
Yeah. No, but that's what that fungus does. If the bat's actually so it'll freeze to death and will kill it. But if you basically just wake the bat up at any time or do anything else, it'll like reject the fungus. It's because the bat's temperature is lowered when they hibernate.
Right. I remember a book about something similar where it's some kind of fungus that turns people into zombies, and it's kind of like The Last of Us, but I think it was before that. I don't think it's supposed to be the same thing. I think it's supposed to be some sort of fungus, like I said. But they hide out on a oil rig.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean, but it still gets to them. Which brings me to another point. Where do you think the best place to hide during a zombie outbreak is? Like, what's the best fortress?
A bunker.
A bunker. Like Day of the Dead type bunker, or like 10 Cloverfield Lane bunker.
Just the bunkers.
Just any kind of bunker.
Any kind of bunker that could withstand a nuclear attack is the best one for zombies, because if it's in a remote location, no one knows where you are, and anything else, you'll be fine.
Right, and you could possibly come out and especially if it's flat all around you.
Look, maybe if it's a bunker that's attached to a nuclear silo, is all I'm saying. You might just, have some nukes just ready to
you might just be ready for launch.
Just get those codes. Take me home, country roads.
As zombies, they've really infected the whole pop culture for a while.
If it's not zombies, it's something else like that, basically is a zombie without being a zombie.
Right. You had, you got The Walking Dead.
You got Left 4 Dead for video games.
You got Left 4 Dead. iZombie. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
No.
iZombie's kind of like a cop procedural show, but they're zombies. Yeah. There's a show on Sci-Fi. I can't remember its name. Somebody in the chat will probably help me out with that one. There's a show, and it's actually not a bad show. They got a little political there during the 2016 election.
Of course they did.
Of course. But it was actually a pretty fun show. There was a whole episode about a place that where do they cook plants? Greenhouse.
Oh, cook? You mean grow plants?
Grow plants.
I gotta cook my plants in the greenhouse.
It's like a greenhouse for like weed, So the whole episode is about smoking weed, and like this big community that's set up around the area where all this weed is, but some of the weed is infected with zombie stuff, and like people try to go in there to get more plants, but there's weed zombies in there.
Weed zombies. Wow, that is so great, because that's just what I think what eventually happens.
People who smoke weed are stupid. As a light up here.
That's the zombie strain, you dumbass.
Zombie strain. And I think they do call it some kind of like
there is an actual strain of weed called zombie.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't imagine. Shit. You gotta get that Frankenstein. Yeah. Shit speaking of Frankenstein, is Frankenstein a zombie?
Oh, that's a question now, isn't it?
It does come back. Is the Mummy a zombie? I've brought up
Our grandma's zombies.
I've brought up the Monster Island trilogy, the book trilogy that I've read, and in that trilogy, the infection or whatever it is, it brings mummies back to life, and you've got to deal with the mummies, and they're more like lich, you know.
Yeah.
But the whole thing in those books is any way you can find to keep oxygen to your brain allows you to be conscious once you once you become a zombie, and you develop some sort of power through that. So if you so there's all these different zombies that have these different types of power.
Sorry, I just look at the fucking chat.
Oh, Jacob. Jacob, I don't want to tell you you're wasting your time, but you're wasting your time. I don't know what you're saying, kid.
Oh, God. I just opened it up to see if anyone was saying anything new, and it's just when I see these walls of text and disjointed speech and everything else.
Yeah, with the massive viewer count on this stream and all, you're right, sweets. What else? I know we're missing zombie movies. Lucio Fulci, Zombie 2, with the zombie that fights the shark, right?
I think so. That might be the third one, though.
That might be the third one.
I don't remember. Sure? I don't remember.
I think
it's been forever since I've seen the films.
Yeah, some of those. That's how it was for me too. Like I used to love watching zombie movies, and then it became so oversaturated. Everybody pretended like The Walking Dead was the best thing.
It's not. It's actually pretty horrid.
It's pretty terrible. And The Walking Dead really just became about Norman Reedus anyway.
Norman Reedus. In Norman Reedus. In Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus is Norman Reedus.
In Norman Reedus.
In Norman Reedus.
Tale of a Norman Reedus.
Yeah, you're right, Sweets. When it became so saturated, everything became very forgettable. And there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
And it gets boring when you go like the Walking Dead route, and it becomes about the drama amongst the people.
I don't give a fuck about these people. I want to see the zombies.
Exactly. I remember there were multiple episodes in a row where there were no zombies in The Walking Dead. And it becomes boring at a certain point. And you get tired of the zombies, and there's only so much you can fucking do with it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have a good character study for zombie stuff, that's not bad. But it's just when you need more than that, or at least give me my interest in something else. Like, give me a reason to care about these people. And I never gave a shit about any of the people in any of the fucking Walking Dead shit. People are like, oh, it's so great. Don't you just love Negan because he's Negan? No,
he's a badass. He's a great villain, is he?
And then he becomes a good guy, anyways, quote unquote. He still acts the same. He just fights for other different people. Yeah, he's real good.
My favorite part, and I don't know if they introduced these characters into The Walking Dead. I think they're called the Whisperers, and they wear zombie flesh. And they live amongst the zombies, and the zombies can't tell that they're humans and shit.
Oof.
Big tit zombies. I've seen that movie, Sweets. I think there's also another one like Japanese Zombie Kill Squad or some shit. Which reminds me, there's a zombie movie called Re-Kill. And people kind of watch. You get to watch like SWAT teams. They go into areas that are infested with zombies, and they kill the zombies, and you get to watch it from their HUDs. It was on Netflix. It wasn't bad for what it was.
So I'll mention this because we could talk about Eastern cultures and how they did everything else. I know this. this manga series called High School of the Dead, where basically it's all about the anime characters living in the zombie world.
Yes.
And the funny thing about it is, like, the guy who they're brothers that make this shit, right? Like, one's an actual writer and the other's the artist. The artist is known for like hentai. So imagine that in the zombie story. Oh, but the brother, he actually wrote this book. It's funny because he actually like wrote an alternate World War II history book where Hitler wins. And it's like Hitler's in Japan, known in Japan, like for being like this great hero and savior. Yeah.
Sounds like the best timeline. I just had a movie, a zombie movie, and I forgot what it was. I think it was a Japanese one too. Oh, I was gonna bring up if you watch some of the old like Chinese kung fu horror movies, they've got
the Jiangxi in them, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got like they're like hopping.
Yeah, the hopping zombies. That's the whole
But
thing.
are they zombies or are they vampires?
Technically, the Jiangxi are vampires.
Okay.
So the whole, but it's weird though. Let me explain. I know a little bit about this because I like them weeb cultures. Let me explain it to you. Oh man, asai. I want to just murder myself after I said that. So the whole thing with Jiangxi is that they're basically raised by a Taoist priest most of the time to go to places to get buried so they can walk. That's like the whole thing behind it originally.
Right.
So they basically hop, and it's like black magic, but it's like considered good magic for whatever reason, because they just want to bury these people so they won't come back as like haunting spirits. But if they like go or stray off the path, the Jiangxi can become more powerful and everything else. The most powerful one is actually called like a Goblin King, whatever I remember, or a King of Hell. And the funny thing about that all is that Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
He's actually a Jiangxi.
Of course.
He was considered a Jiangxi with the whole stuff about he was called King Piccolo, and King Piccolo is like the name from some kind of either Chinese tale or something that is a Jiangxi, like a really powerful one. So
right,
and that's why he also comes back from the dead too, because you can't kill a Jiangxi. That's before they decided to make Namek's aliens.
Well, I think that line between vampire and zombie that gets blurred because like originally vampires make ghouls.
Yeah, schools. Yep.
And ghouls are like they are undead and they do eat flesh.
Yes.
And they're not full on. They're more zombie than they are vampire.
It depends on how you see ghouls too, because ghouls come actually from Arabic mythology.
Right.
Arabic mythology was that they were the things that haunted the places in between when the living and the dead live, where they were the restless dead.
Ugh.
And they're more like dogs. They look kind of doggish and impish and everything else.
Right.
That's why Lovecraft, you have those, he has the ghouls in his stories too, like the one story, Pickman's, the work of Pickman.
Mm-hmm.
Where Pickman himself ends up turning into a fucking ghoul.
Always. They're never safe. You're never safe.
Yeah, well, he was already disturbed anyways. He like painted stuff like Goya wood, where it was really dark paintings and creepy. And like the big plot twist at the end is Pickman's muse was actually real. It was a real ghoul he found in the subway eating a corpse.
Sweets, give me some more Japanese zombies. I know they're out there. There's a zombie movie, I forgot it, and I can't think of it. It's not Japanese, but while she's doing that, fuck, I can't remember it. Are there any zombie movie? Oh, there's a zombie movie called Warm Bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That came out. That was like a rom-com.
Yeah, a romantic comedy where a guy's dead, but he's a zombie, so it's really just, Esau's fantasy of necrophilia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously what's going to happen after he ends up crushing somebody someday. So,
and there's definitely a zombie Hell Driver, Wild Zero, Versus definitely. Uh, I keep thinking that there's a zombie movie out there where the zombies are like in charge, and it's like the reverse. Where
Oh, are you thinking of that Nazi zombie movie?
Dead Snow? Are you talking about Dead Snow?
Yeah.
No. This movie was Dead. Okay, we could talk about Dead Snow. Dead Snow is fun. It's got a lot of good effects in it. A lot of blood, a lot of gore. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of head stomping.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to think of another movie that I think
Tokyo
that...
Zombie. I think that's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you, Sweets.
I got to find this because I think Joe Bob Briggs covered it at a certain point. Let me remember.
And there is like Return of the Living Dead 2 and 3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is a movie out there where the zombies are scared of the humans,
mm-hmm.
and the humans are set up to behave like the infection instead of the zombies. Rape Zombie. That sounds like a great series, Sweets.
Would we call Rabid a zombie movie?
Rabid?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It says, in David Cronenberg's early cult film, a woman develops a thirst for blood after experimental plastic surgery.
I mean, it could be. The lines are slow blurred. Are the crazies zombies?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. And I don't know if I count them as zombies either.
Because then you get it. Like, I saw somebody counting Ravenous as a zombie movie, and I don't mean the new like French Ravenous movie. I mean the one with.
Oh, here's one I suppose too. Do we consider Demons a zombie movie, or do we consider them like Deadites because demons they basically?
I mean, yeah, because there is Night of the Demons too, and I mean. I guess they're demons. They're more like, I guess you can
say them like
Deadites.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. Because demons started to take that turn toward zombie. You know, it goes back to like Record and stuff. Like it's demon possession really at the end of Record where you find out, but they do die and come back, and they do like go after flesh. Like
this
that.
Is not the full playlist. This is telling me this is the full playlist for what Joe Bob watched, and this is not. I'm looking on Shudder and I can't find this movie I'm knowing of because he talked about it somewhere else. I know this is not it. So give me a second.
Zombie Ass and Stacy, Attack of the Schoolgirls.
Oh God, what is this? A Shudder exclusive TV series, Critters: The New Binge.
What? A new Critters?
It's a TV series that they're making for Shudder.
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
They're gonna have that along with the Creep Show television show.
I guess. They still got Joe Bob showing up every now and again for
Joe Bob. City of the Living Dead.
Yep, that's a.
I think that's a Fulci one.
Yep, that is.
That's got some iconic shit in it, although it's not too terribly good.
Did this get fucking removed? Because I don't see it. It says it's the full marathon. I know that it's not. There was a zombie movie on this list, and it's not fucking there anymore. It's pissing me off. I know it was a zombie movie too, and that's what pisses me off about it. I just don't remember what it was called because he was talking about it, and it was going to be on the marathon, and this is the marathon. I don't fucking see it. Where is it, Joe Bob? What Shudder do with these movies? Couldn't they fucking play them? That's not the full marathon. Oh, Jesus. Because it was like 13 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's only 9. Where are the other 13 movies, Joe Bob? Where are they? Did they take them down because someone sued? What is this?
What about the incredibly strange creatures that stopped living and became zombies?
I know I showed that on my channel before Stream Me died, so you take your count of that.
Is that before Night of the Living Dead?
No,
No.
no, it's not. At least I don't think so. It might be. You will have to Google that. I just gotta see what this was though first. I need to know what this fucking movie is. There's a zombie in it. I don't remember what movie it was called. Fast Drive. Yeah, Shudder. Can we?
You saw it on Shudder?
It was there before, but it's not there anymore. So that's what's pissed me off about it.
If anybody in the chat has a zombie movie they'd like to name that we've missed, go for it. I'm sure there's 1,000 of them.
Weekly series. Shudder has begun. Let's see what movies. The Last Drive and Joe Bob Briggs. Tell me what fucking movies they were. IMDb. Maybe you'll tell me which ones aren't here. That chick's pretty hot. Let's see. Next 6. Demons. No. Sleep. Leslie. No. Oh, he did fucking The Legend of Boggy Creek. No, he didn't. What fucking? Where is it? I fucking need this, and it's not giving the full list. Damn you, IMDb. Where's the fucking list of these movies?
I need it.
I do need it. I want to know what they are because I know one of them was a fucking zombie movie, and I don't see it. Let me see. I'll find it eventually. We'll keep talking as I'm doing this. I mean, like not like we haven't been doing that, but you know.
There's a cop movie where the cops are zombies. From like the 80s or early 90s, I think. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Shit, I can't remember the name of that fight. Oh, Dead Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Dead Heat.
Yeah.
Pretty fun zombie flick.
Let's see. The convoluted history of the Demon series, no. Tourist Trap intro, no. I'm checking Shudder's actual thing. Diners of Death, no. Sleepaway Camp, no. Tourist Trap, no. Not Basket Case, no, it's not that. Shudder, keep your eyes open. Only on Shudder. There's 8 fucking things. Let's see. It's got to be in here somewhere. Joe Bob Briggs, opening theme, Basket Case, Tourist Trap, testimonials, 24. No, it doesn't say. I know this film was talked about, and I don't fucking see it. I am so pissed. It's an obscure movie and he was talking about. Like it's like a guy's a killer in it, but he's also the zombie or something. Just don't remember what it was.
He's a killer, but he's also a zombie.
Yes. I don't know. It was like a film from the 70s or something, I think. I don't remember what it is.
Is it that one that Mystery Science Theater did?
I don't think so, actually.
I can't remember the name of that one either.
Yeah.
There's Bollywood zombies.
There's a great someone did some fan art of Joe Bob here. This looks actually pretty nice.
Nice.
I'll send that to you over Discord. Just gonna say Skype. I'm not fucking using Skype.
I don't even think I have Skype.
Well, now you do.
Well, now you better get it.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. They did a damn good job with that. There's a list. Yeah. Let me click on this list that Steve sent here.
No, I don't want to see In Search of Darkness or top stories about Joe Bob Briggs. Thanks.
Okay, the first on this zombie list are 28 days later, 28 weeks later.
Oh, that's yeah. Never mind. This might not be actually a zombie movie. It was The Prowler, is what I was thinking of.
Oh, The Prowler.
Yeah,
I know that movie.
That's not a zombie movie, is it?
I don't think so.
I think the guy's just in a really weird costume. Yeah.
I think that's just a slasher film.
Yeah. So this is on Amazon. I see.
Astro zombies, though they're not.
Oh
zombies.
God, Astro zombies.
They're not zombies. They're aliens.
Yeah, they are aliens. Oh yeah, he did do fucking Legend of Boggy Creek for that fucking movie marathon.
The Beyond.
Yep, that's one I know too. That's the one I told you about. That
Yeah,
has the book of Ebon in it. That's just a Clark Ashton Smith thing.
right. Beyond Reanimator.
That's
Bio Zombie. I was trying to remember that one.
yep.
Sweets, where were you? I said to remind me, you did not. Black Sheep with the uh, were sheep that
Mhm.
eat people. It's a fun movie, but I don't know if it's a zombie movie. Let's see here. Brain Dead, obviously. Bride of
Mhm.
Reanimator. I
Yep.
mean, I guess yes. I guess yes. Technically, Reanimator is definitely got zombies in it.
I mean, that was also, I'd say, literature-wise, actually also predates zombies and a lot of stuff too, because that was Lovecraft, and he came up with the idea of quote-unquote zombies at a certain point, because the idea of, oh, well, you see, the thing that makes people alive is a certain chemical reaction in their entire body. If we can figure out this reaction, we can bring them back to life. Oh, whoops, it means they've been dead and are basically ravenous zombie fiends.
Right.
And I'm glad Herbert. That's like one of the only stories Lovecraft actually doesn't ever really imply anything of supernatural or occult stuff going on. It's just Herbert fucking over with all these stupid things medically. He eventually just gets cut to pieces by all its ghouls.
Cabin in the Woods. I forgot that's got zombies in it.
Yes, it does.
That the whole beginning before they get underground is all zombie family.
Yep.
Redneck zombie family.
Redneck zombies from hell. They've come to vote for Ronald Reagan yet again.
Oh no, you've got it.
No.
Cemetery Man.
Oh yeah, Cemetery Man. I love that film.
Yeah.
If you can't kill the living, kill the dead, why not just kill the living?
Here's one we forgot.
Mhm.
Chud 2.
Chud 2 is zombies?
Bud the Chud. Yeah, he is a zombie in that movie.
Oh,
He
yeah,
is definitely a zombie in that movie.
Bud the Chud is a zombie in that movie, right?
We talked about Creep Show.
Chud, Chud, Chud. They live under the city. Chud, Chud.
Dance of the Dead. Man, the Day of the Dead remakes are so bad.
They are.
Those movies are terrible. Holy shit. What were they thinking? There's Day of the Dead 2008, Day of the Dead 2 Contagium, Day of the Dead Bloodline. All right. Pack it in.
Chud, 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 Chud.
Some of these I have not even. Some of these Dead Heat. There's Dead Heat, 1988.
Pet Cemetery, I guess we also count as a zombie movie too.
Yeah, I guess you could definitely count that as
Because
zombie.
sometimes dead is better.
Sometimes dead is better.
Take note, Stephen King.
What about Dead Space?
Yeah, Dead Space is also a zombie movie.
Yeah, I would say definitely. Yeah, it's done. They do dead. They do zombies really well in Dead Space too, or whatever you want to call them. I guess they're not really zombies, but
They're like aliens, right?
well, I mean, it's alien artifact that turns people into weird dead things.
That's why we don't touch alien artifacts, everyone.
Yep. Just leave it. Just leave it alone.
That's like you trying to say, "Oh, I should touch this lament configuration and open the hell portal to Cenobites."
Dylan Dog, Dead of Night.
I guess Frankenweenie also counts as a zombie movie.
I guess it does. I guess it definitely does. The Fog. I don't know about that. It does. See, it's got a little thing over here. It says they're called ghosts in the film. So I'm not really sure they're zombies as much as they're like vengeful ghosts of pirates.
I am the vengeful goat of all these pirates.
Frankenhooker.
I mean, technically, that's so they're the skeleton things and fucking James and the Giant Peach. They're not zombies.
Yeah, definitely not.
Skeletons.
Hell of the Living Dead. I remember that movie.
That's an Italian flick.
Hood of the Living Dead. I've never seen that, but now I want to. The Horde, which is like a French zombie film. I remember it
Monster. The frogs are rising up.
I remember it being. It's very brutal. You know, it's that French extremist shit. Horror Express is on this list. I don't remember zombies in Horror Express.
I don't think I do either.
House of the Dead. You Bulls, House of the Dead. We forgot about the best one, the masterpiece that is
Hey, Uwe Boll, go fight yourself in real life again. If you ever make fun of my movies, I'm gonna fucking find you and I'm gonna beat you up. That's how you stop the critics. That's how you stop the mean words.
I Sell the Dead. That's actually a really good movie. I Was a Zombie for the FBI. I don't know nothing about that.
That's your life story, isn't it?
Jerusalem with a Z.
But I don't even. We got Esau's favorite movie. I see. Good.
I don't remember them being zombies though. I think it's more about like demons.
So it's about like jinn, actually. Will that fit with the Middle Eastern thing?
Yeah, I guess so. L.A. Zombie, aka Gay of the Dead.
Gay of the Dead.
Gay
so San Francisco gets infected then. All right.
Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires.
Yeah, I know that one. That is a zombie movie.
Maggie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is about him trying to protect his daughter, I guess.
Yeah.
Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
I guess Maniac Cop would definitely be a zombie.
He never ends.
He never ends. He does die and he does come back and he is rotting.
Yep. I like how in the third film that basically what happens is he's like, "You're the female maniac cop. You're gonna be my wife."
Apparently, Steve says apparently in Horror Express the aliens rise up the dead as zombies. I did not remember that.
Don't they always?
Didn't we watch Horror Express on your Stream Me?
I don't think it was.
My boyfriend's back. Huh? Remember that Remember that 1990s rom-com?
Yes, I do.
Night of the Comet. How could we forget Night of the Comet and Night of the Creeps?
Oof, yeah, those are.
Both of those are zombies. I think Night of the Comet, it's the comet, obviously, and Night of the Creeps, it's like slugs or something.
They were all slugs down here.
Wow, there's a lot of. Tom Savini directed the Night of the Living Dead remake. I did not.
Well, it should anyways.
The Night Shift. Ninjas vs. Nudist Colony of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
This Nudist Colony of the Dead has some of the best songs in it I've ever fucking heard. And you can never find the full movie. You can only find the songs online. And they're really good.
They're not even attractive nudists. They're all ugly.
Yeah, it's true. But I think those are the people that go there.
Yeah. All like Christian
swingers.
Yeah, no, the people that go there are all Christian Bible school people, and they're like really nerdy or really stupid.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, technically
they are zombies. You're breaking up, by the way.
I know.
Oh yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. Pontypool.
Pontypool.
Pontypool is a pretty. It takes place like a lot of it takes place in a radio station, and it's actually a really unique sort of take on zombies. The cast is really good, and the whole time you're kind of interested because you think it's just another normal zombie thing until you get to the end, and you find out that it's all about like sound, and that's what zombies are really attracted to. They're attracted to the sound of things. I recommend seeing it if people haven't seen it. Planet Terror, Robert Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely old Grindhouse.
Grindhouse styled. Everything else is
flick, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Poultrygeist. Chicken Dead. Yeah. It's a fun trauma flick. Oh, I remember this movie when it came out, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. That was like sort of at the end of the fall of the zombie gimmick. And people started putting like zombies in like historical pieces and shit.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness. It's got Prince of Darkness on here.
Yeah, technically they're zombies, I guess.
There's Quarantine.
What a great film, said no one.
The Rape After.
The Rape After?
I guess. Rambach. I remember Rambach. Redneck Zombies. Resident Evils. Yes, of course. Return of the Living Dead Part 2 and 3. Return of the Living Dead Necropolis, and Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave.
Rave to the Grave.
Those were the ones I was trying to think of.
Yep.
When I was talking about the sci-fi ones. Those are the sci-fi movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Resort. I think you can watch that on Netflix. SARS Wars. I remember SARS Wars. I think it's from Thailand. And it's got a lot of like a lot of like samurai action. They're not samurais, it's modern day really. But that was during the whole SARS outbreak was happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's still technically quote unquote happening. You always see people with those fucking masks on in other Asian countries.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I saw that movie. It was all right. It wasn't anything special. It's another one of those, Shaun of the Dead kind of, not really a ripoff, but it's a comedy horror.
Technically, would you consider Life Force when it happens to those people zombies or not?
I mean, she's a vampire though, right?
Yeah. Space vampire.
But again, there is that line. So, I mean, she may turn them into ghouls or zombies while she remains a vampire. So,
and they explode.
Right, and they explode. Serpent in the Rainbow. Slither? I don't know about that. I don't know if there's zombies in Slither.
That's more like Parasites. That's like if you were comparing the Resident Evil 7 zombies to zombies.
Right.
Which they kind of really aren't. It's more a biological weapon using the T virus to basically mutate people with fungus.
Trailer Park of Terror. There it is. Train to Busan 2. Supposed to come out in 2019. So this year. Uncle Sam. Which is an old 90s. It's like a slasher flick, but really it's a zombie that comes back to life. VHS, I guess, does have The Video Dead. I remember that movie. That was an old school movie.
Yep.
Let's see here. I'm getting towards the end. Waxworks? What?
I guess. I mean, if you consider the original one.
I guess.
I mean, technically it kind of is. It's because they know he's presumed dead the entire time and he remakes his face and everything. And
Zombievers,
huh?
Zombievers, Canadian flick, obviously.
Oh, Zombievers.
About zombie beavers.
I thought it was like, the Marvel Zombieverse or something where everyone's a zombie.
The Zombie Diaries. There's a lot of now that we've hit the Z's. There's a lot of Zombie Lake, Zombie Massacre, Zombie Nation, Zombie Night, Zombie Night 2, Zombie Nightmare,
Zombie Mom.
I think Zombie Nightmare is the one that Mystery Science Theater does.
Yeah, I think it was Zombie Nightmare.
Oh boy, ever since Dad's been murdered, things have been great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, that is what that is. It's got fucking who's his name? Adam West is in as the mayor, but he's like the corrupt cop, and he's the one who killed that dude's dad, and he's the whole gangster. That's what you find out.
Right. And there is like voodoo in it.
Yeah, it's technically voodoo because she gets the voodoo priest and it brings it back, and yeah, and he basically looks so stupid as a zombie too.
Overlord. Uh, Overlord. Somebody stole the Mustang out of the bay. Huck.
The fuck?
That's fucking rough.
Yeah.
Are you in trouble for that? I would hope not.
That's not really your fault. Someone probably broke into the bay.
There is an Abe Lincoln versus zombie film, and
Yep.
there is an Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter movie too.
Yep.
The Vampire Hunter movie was more that was in theaters, and the Abraham Lincoln Zombie one was more like direct video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, Hawk. I don't know why you would be like. I mean, can you really be at fault for that? Don't they have insurance?
I think they would.
You would think so. I got to get something to drink. I'll be right back.
All right. Don't worry, Chad. I'm not gonna give you dead air. I'm just chewing, so it doesn't sound like I'm eating because I'm eating sugar cookies. I know. It's eating the zombie bread. Brains, and by brains I mean grains, and by grains I mean flour. By flour I mean bread. By bread I mean cookies. The Pepperidge Farm. So it's enriched wheat flour. I know the zombies exist everywhere, especially in your mind. What was I thinking of? But yeah, that could be always a good one. You're eating hardtack. We know. Yeah, totally. They're snickerdoodles.
So I just had an idea.
Oh yeah.
Huck, was the work done on the Mustang, or did it just get there? Because if the work was done,
he said, "Pretty sure I won't be in trouble for leaving the keys on the windshield. Most people leave the keys in the ignition overnight."
Here's what I'm saying: if the work is done, then the guy stole his own Mustang, so he doesn't have to pay for it.
Possibly.
Yeah. See, I broke the case already. All I had to do is walk off and get some water.
That's quite the conclusion you come to in getting some water.
Yeah, it's my brain. It's just the way it works.
Your body sure doesn't seem to.
What do you mean? No, everything's working perfectly. My lungs especially.
Mm-hmm.
Did we miss any movies? I mean, we went through a lot of zombie films, and I know zombies can be pretty boring nowadays, but they are a staple of horror. A lot of us, our first couple horror movies are zombie movies in some kind of way.
No, Steve, he doesn't smoke Camels. He smokes Pall Malls.
I smoke Pall Malls. I smoke what they call Red 100s.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
But if everybody leaves the keys, I'm sure it'll all work out just fine, Huck. There's no way they can blame you for somebody else's crime.
Sorry, I just took a drink of whiskey there. That's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. We just yell over each other all day.
Yeah, I definitely suffer. Definitely, that's what life is. Suffering. Might as well enjoy it.
That's the nihilism in him speaking out.
Yeah, the nihilism.
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 Nil. You get nil. You get nothing, sir.
Oh, I was thinking like Nilla wafers.
Nilla wafers. No, I mean nil as in nothing. The nothingism.
Nil. No. Yes. I am a nihilist. For those who don't know, I
Now
hate
you
that.
do.
I hate that fucking word, but that is what I am.
So that's why he's fine with being a zombie.
Yeah. I mean, can it really be that much worse?
Well, if you're the tar man, maybe.
I mean, technically, if you really, if you're really trying to get rid of everything, I mean, I guess being brought back would be a curse.
Yeah.
But of all these movies, I mean, I think it says a lot about how the originals are still the most iconic ones.
Yeah.
Your Night of the Dead, your Day of the Dead, your Dawn of the Dead,
Your Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. Yes. I think they they set it up for everybody else, and it's very rare that you find people who come with their own unique sort of take on the genre. A lot of times people are just putting out zombie movies are easy to make, right? So we can pump those out real easily.
Unless, yeah, they're so easy to make. They've made stinkers where Ace of Spades, the Ace of
Yes, of
I can't
course.
believe they got Motorhead for that film.
Yeah,
Is that where their entire budget went, was to have Motorhead?
That's exactly where the budget went, because it certainly didn't go to the zombies.
It certainly didn't go to the acting.
Can zombies live off of another zombie? Now, that's a good question. I would say no, because I think zombies eat living flesh.
Yeah, they don't like
Right.
that cold flesh. It's like, having leftover pizza that's been in there for a week.
In the Monster Island trilogy, they eat anything living. So zombies will even eat the bark off trees. Because it has like this glow to it, this warmth.
That's called the sun.
They would probably eat that if they could.
They can't. It's
Well, yeah. Who would win in a wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
Well, obviously Lemmy is God, so what's the point? He's wrestling himself.
Trick question, asshole. Lemmy is God. Who'd you take over the David Lee Roth Van Halen split?
Yeah,
you're a cop. I love that movie, Airheads. I know it's completely off topic. It's not a horror movie at all, but I love that fucking movie. Back when Brendan Fraser was in his prime.
Yep.
And Adam Sandler wasn't like a joke.
Yep. I mean, he was already a comedian in quotations, but
comedian.
I mean, do we count Adam Sandler's comedic films as horror movies? Can that count? Just like Tyler Perry movies.
Has he ever made See, Tyler Perry's actually made like Boo, Medea's Boo Halloween and stuff like that. Like those are, I mean, they could fall under horror, but I don't know if Adam Sandler's ever actually made a horror movie. Has he?
I mean, his films are just horrors, but
I mean, they are horrors. Yes, you're right. But I know Boo, a Medea Halloween was having like.
There's also the Ernest Halloween, Ernest Scared
Straight. Oh,
Straight.
yes. Can we please talk about Ernest Scared Stupid? I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies to watch as a kid. I'd watch that shit even when it wasn't Halloween or anything like that. It's just a great movie with the trolls and everything, and the kids are turned into wooden statues, and the milk brings the trolls down.
That drink of that milk brings the trolls down back to hell where they belong.
Rim shot Poor Rimshot gets turned into a statue, and Ernest is all sad.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss James Varney.
Wrist and pepperonis, Mr. Varney.
Oh, unless you count those Hotel Transylvania ones. I mean, it does have a lot of horror elements to it. The zombies and Dracula and all that stuff. That's did Adam? He just voices Dracula, right?
Yeah, he does. I think he did make them though too. Maybe I don't know.
I know Gendy does the animation. But I don't know if Adam wrote and directed any of those or not. Oh no, are those McFarlane movies?
They might be.
Who knows? Because McFarlane is everywhere.
And he's big friends with Adam Sandler. They met each other at a bathhouse, and that's how they became the best of friends.
Speaking of McFarlane, is Spawn a zombie? Or is he like a demon Hell Knight?
He's supposed to be like a Hell Knight. The comics are so bad. The comics are just so bad.
And they're basically a ripoff of Faust.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Faust came first, like
way before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it even rips off the Crow in some extent too.
Yeah. Is the Crow a zombie?
Technically, he's a revenant.
He's a revenant. Okay. Now, can a revenant be a zombie though?
Not really, because they have more free.
Be called the Revenant.
I know, but the Revenants are more. They have more free will. They're usually tied to something to be alive again, and they do have all their cognizant thought and everything else. So I don't know if I consider it.
So you're saying if you have consciousness, you're not a zombie?
Yeah, because the zombies are supposed to be like the loss of full consciousness of identity and everything else.
Right. So like Lich, Lich don't count as zombies.
No.
Anybody read Marvel zombie comics? I did not, but I mean, I remember when they come out.
I have a few of the Marvel Zombieverse comics around here somewhere, and I don't have the whole thing.
Actually, I think I did read one of the first issues of that, where like Hulk does a lot of eating, and then when he goes back to Bruce Banner, his stomach bursts because of all the flesh he had eaten.
Yeah. There's a lot of just weird stuff in general with that, because like Spider-Man's actually the first one that gets infected. I think he gets bit by a black cat or something who was infected. I don't remember.
A Pet Cemetery cat?
No, like Felicia Hardy.
Okay.
The chick that's Catwoman without being Catwoman.
Like the actual like hero black cat.
Yes.
Okay, so here's a question.
All right.
If we were going to do our own zombie film, what could we do to make it unique from other zombie movies? Or has everything been done?
I would put it in space. They call it Doom Annihilation.
Oh, no.
No, I would put it in space, though. I think that would make it.
So zombies in space, so like Dead Space, but not those type of.
No, I'd set it like in Far Off, like an alien would be. These people discover something, and this something basically makes zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But the zombies would be kind of different. They'd be like it almost be like the whole thing. What happens is like it's an unconscious thing that happens with people, so they turn into the zombies, and they can fool them by being zombies again. But it's slowly like. I think what would happen is that their bodies would slowly start melting and shit, so they turn to puddles.
Right.
But they the only way to test who's a zombie is almost like the Thing kind of shit, where you'd have to do something with extreme cold on them instead.
Right.
Because they're like on a fucking sun planet or some like really, really hot atmospheric planet. So they freeze and they crumble to pieces.
Okay. I can almost get with that. It's almost see, that made me think of Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really zombies, I guess, but I totally make a giant zombie octopus. Sweets. So it's a damn good idea.
There could be, that's something else that would be an interesting.
Can zombies survive freezing temperatures? That's a That's a question. A lot of times when there's like safe havens in places, it's usually somewhere up north or where it's cold because they say the zombies can't survive there.
I know what I do now. It's even different. I got another one besides deep space. The deep ocean. Zombies all the way at
Oh,
the bottom of the ocean.
and it takes place. There's like a little government facility down there, right? And they're
Mhm.
mining for something.
Yep.
And like they come across this weird mineral or something like that that starts to change people.
Mm-hmm.
And then like they're trapped underneath the water in this facility. It's almost like Leviathan,
Yeah.
but not.
Yeah.
But not the thing underwater. Is zombies underwater?
Yep.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Um, and I think in like Record 4, the virus ends up in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like some zombie fish down there.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I mean, I know it depends on the interpretation of whatever film you're watching.
Depends on the interpretation.
Can the zombie virus move to animals?
Yeah, it would depend on the type of virus, I suppose. Is it a mammalian virus? Is it a biological virus? Is it a chemical virus? All depends.
I would say
That's where it
I
comes
would
in with
prefer.
my zombie megalodon. You seeing where I'm going with this? My zombie megalodon, which basically takes out the entire facility.
Holy shit! This is get it written.
Yep.
Green light it. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's get this shit greenlit. I'm down. You could do like a. You could do them like you could do like sequels, like Under the Water and Deep Space, like two different movies that are connected.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Oh wait, that could be the whole thing. They found the virus deep underwater, and they tried taking it to space to see the effects of somewhere else, and it merges with a different virus in space.
Right, because outside of what it does to people and turns them into zombies, this mineral or whatever it is still has a bunch of uses to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be very careful with how you use it. But then in the sequel in space, they obviously things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Things have to go wrong in the movies.
Yeah, they always do.
And this would be the sequel where like we don't wait 3 or 4 movies down the line to get to space.
No, it's just the second movie.
Straight to space in the second one. And the first one already almost has a space aspect to it because of how, deep under the water is very similar.
Mm.
So
and the third movie will be in the Congo.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have zombie silverbacks.
You got it. And there's gonna be zombie dinosaurs because the Congo has dinosaurs.
The Eye of Zich. Have you seen that movie, Congo?
Yeah.
It's got Bruce Campbell.
It does. He's in it for like the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, and then crazy gorillas tear him apart.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, good gorilla. Ugly gorilla. That's a what is it? That's a Michael Crichton film.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad that Michael Crichton, he just a whole retcon of saying, "Oh yeah, the dinosaurs were never supposed to look accurate. They're supposed to look like this because I said so."
Yeah. Everybody always wants to do their retcons.
Yeah. Okay, Michael Crichton. Just a minute. They have feathers. You're wrong. But you can't.
They're birds.
Mm-hmm. They are.
That doesn't look very scary. More like a 6-foot turkey.
Yeah, but they still could tear the shit out of everything. They're apex predators.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Is that another Raimi film? Did Raimi do Congo?
No, it was Michael Crichton.
Wait, yeah, but he directed Congo?
I don't remember. Joe Bob Briggs is in it, but no, not Joe Bob Briggs. Who the fuck am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Bruce Campbell.
No, there's another actor in it that's very famous. He was in. No. He's a B-list actor is who I'm thinking of his name. I don't remember its name.
Claude, that's a strange name for someone from Umbasa.
No.
Have you ever been to Umbasa? No.
1 second.
Then what would you know about it?
God, give me a minute.
I'm telling you, Congo is fucking.
I'll actually search up Congo.
Congo's quotable. Frank Marshall directed it.
Oh, Frank Marshall. Okay.
It's got Laura Linney.
Oh, there he is. I remember the name now.
Joe Don Baker.
Yeah.
Who were you thinking of?
That's who I was thinking of.
Joe Don?
Yes.
It's got Ernie Hudson in it. Stop eating my sesame cake. I'm telling you, Congo is great.
I just remember fucking Joe Don Baker being in that outlaw movie where it's on Malta.
Yes.
And Mitchell. Oh god, those films are so awful.
Yeah, those Mystery Science Theater boys have a real hard time with those movies.
Mm-hmm. And it's really funny because one time Mike was in the same hotel that Joe Don was during some kind of event, and he like looked at him for a minute. Mike like just looked away.
Joe Don did not fuck around. Weren't there lasers at some point? There are lasers in that movie at some point. And there's also silverbacks doing cannonballs into the river of Zich.
Okay, I've changed my mind. We're not doing it in the Congo for the third one. It's going to be the Amazon instead.
No, I want the Congo.
No, you fucked it.
No. I thought I was making a solid case for Congo.
Nope, not anymore. Now I just have to remind myself that Joe Don Baker was in that movie.
No.
He's gonna be the first to die in the third movie. I wonder if we could
get Joe Don Baker for one of these movies.
Well, we could probably get Joe Bob Briggs.
I would love if we did a movie and it had Joe Bob Briggs in it.
He lives throughout. No, you see, here's the thing. He lives throughout all three films. Joe
Don does?
No, not Joe Don. Joe Bob does.
Joe Bob lives through all three movies.
Yes.
Right. He's always one of the survivors. Mm-hmm. And like in like the second one, and you think he's dead, but he like pops out of like
he was cryogenically frozen so he could go into space.
Pops out of like a luggage carrier place he's been hiding the whole time. Hey, Captain Weeb. Anaconda. I love Anaconda. Hello, little bird. It's got Ice Cube.
It does have Ice Cube in it.
Rappers started to like get into film. They always end up in movies.
Yeah.
Wait, how about a zombie movie during the Aztec Empire?
That'd not be a bad idea.
I mean, I could see that. There's a lot of good visuals there. It could have something to do with sacrifices and how all those people are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And
it could be all about how historically inaccurate how the freaking Spanish get murdered by the Aztec zombies.
Yeah, I like it. Their ships land and they come looking and they find the fucking they get attacked by Aztec zombies.
Yep.
Eric Stoltz is an Anaconda too. You're right. He gets that bug in his throat, and he's laid out for most of the movie after that.
Yep. Steve Buscemi is also going to be in these movies as well.
Oh yes.
He gets killed last because he thinks he's going to run away with the package like Mr. Pink did, but he then ends up getting eaten by the Megalodon.
Ooh, what a way to go, Steve. Zombie Megalodon. Not many people can say zombie Megalodon.
Well, Steve Buscemi is making big progress here. Got to get Steven Juberg to first sign down with all this shit.
What about 10,000 BC crossed with zombies?
Not a bad idea.
I mean, you could do a lot. You could have like Hux, right? There's not a lot of weapon, but you could have like zombie mammoths and shit.
Mm-hmm. You could also have you could set it during the Black Plague where all those dead are rising. So it's like people like basically surviving like literally through plagues and all this other shit. You got plague doctors going around thinking they're, herbs and shit work and it doesn't do anything. You got the people like dressed as like witch hunters and shit, shooting the zombies saying Satan's coming. This is the end days and all this other shit.
You could even have witches scared of the zombies.
Yep.
You know. What's your guys' favorite part of Creepshow 1? My favorite part of Creepshow 1 is the story with Adrian Barbeau and what's his name with the monster in the box.
Oh, Fluffy. Yeah, Fluffy's the best.
That's my favorite one.
I can almost just see that as like a real thing. Someone left a fucking Antarctic package and it's got a fucking monster inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't open. It says go to a museum. Don't open, but let's open it.
See, that's another place you could go to, the Antarctic.
Yeah.
You could definitely do zombies in the Antarctic, and maybe in our interpretation of zombies, the cold doesn't bother them at all.
The cold never bothered them anyway.
What about you, Weeb? What do you like from Creepshow?
I love the fact that in Creepshow 2 they decide let's go on this lake, and the lake has fucking this pollutant living thing on it that just kills them all.
Oh yeah, that might be my favorite story from Creepshow 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I did like the first one too, about like the whole thing of the Native American statue coming to life and murdering all those people because they're assholes.
Chief Woodenhead.
Chief Woodenhead. Yep.
There's another story.
I grew up my hair so I could look so good for Hollywood. Yeah, that's what's gonna get you hired. Your looks.
What's the other story from Creepshow 2?
It's that one, and what is the third one? I don't remember. I don't remember if it was really that memorable.
Guys, help us out. Chat. Well, yes, there's the one in the lake. There's Chief Woodenhead, and there's another one.
There might be it. Oh wait, yeah, I don't remember what the last one is. It's the one where the woman hits the hitchhiker. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because she's cheating on her husband with like this younger dude.
Yeah.
But you know who shows up in that? A truck driver named Stephen King, who comes around and just looks up.
Oh, Stephen King, huh? A tough titty.
Tough titty. I get my cameo. I helped write it.
Have you guys seen The Man with the Screaming Brain?
Yes, I've seen it.
I may have once.
Because the lead actor is Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now it's all coming back to me now. Yes. Bruce has got a lot of good movies, like My Name is Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't really do this shit in real life. I don't fight shit. I just live in this shitty ass trailer. I don't have a wife and kids.
He is Ash in real life, let's face it.
He did write a book about how to be a man. Yeah.
I wonder. Him and we're working on our story about Jack Burton and Ash teaming up for a fucking thing. I'm always thinking about that story.
Is the check in the mail?
Yes, sir. Check is in the mail. I wish I had a sub I could eat right now just for that.
I love the fact one of the things I really like about Big Trouble in Little China is the iconography of it a lot, with all the shit either Jack wears or Wen wears, or the shit on his fucking truck that has a fucking pig sticker on it, like a literal pig sticker.
Pork Chop Express.
Yeah. I love the sequel bait too, that there's like a demon on the back of his truck.
Yeah, it's whatever it is that they let loose during the movie. Mm-hmm. And you don't really see it towards the end. You kind of forget about it, and then there it is. Low pan. Drive my truck right through him.
It didn't do anything, Wen.
Yes,
Who are these guys?
Just like I said, it happened. China is here, Mr. Burton. What does that mean? I don't even know what the hell that means. China is here.
He asked so many questions in that movie. Like almost every sentence out of his mouth is a question. It's
very the monster in Big Trouble in Little China is very comparable to the monster to Fluffy from Creepshow. Like they're different in the face, but they almost look like they could be part of the same species.
Possibly. Maybe it's a Yeti.
Maybe it is. Yeah, that's true.
That's the Himalayans, but
zombie Bigfoots. How come we didn't think of that?
I don't know.
Zombie Bigfoot.
Because I just never been Harry and the Hendersons. I don't want to think of Harry trying to kill people.
Man, Harry's a great soul.
There's just plenty of him out there, honey. Out there in the Midwest. Even though we're in California.
Everything we've just talked about, but with a zombie twist. I mean, Lopan's not a zombie, right?
No, he's the Dragon Emperor.
Right, okay.
He's supposed to be the actual like first emperor of China or something, or some other emperor. I don't remember.
He's cursed.
Yeah, well, he does. Of course, he's cursed.
A long time ago, there were great earthquakes, and they flipped the world upside down. I saw Bird Box, Huck. I was not impressed.
The movie is about how white people don't see racism.
Is it?
That's what one of the directors of some stupid douchebag said.
These people are stupid.
Yeah.
It's got a fucking blindfold on. Shut the fuck up.
It's about the blindness of how white people are.
Yeah. I remember when not seeing color was a good thing.
Mm-hmm. It's not anymore.
And now it's bad because that's the only way they can get their... If you can't recognize who they are, then you can't get your victim points this way. NPCs are real zombies. They do nothing but consume. They're a fucking plague, and they will infect you. That's a movie right there.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that'll be our social commentary. You can have like NPCs under the water.
NPCs. No, it's all going to be about how like some liberal thought it was a great idea to just mine under the water. How some liberal thought it was great to go put the shit in space.
So what would you describe what happens to people in that movie? I know that they actually had Bird Box. They had a monster planned out, and it's supposed to be like some weird reptilian lizard type thing, but it just was so terrible that the actors couldn't not laugh at it when it was on screen with them. So you don't ever get to see it. But I think it's supposed to show you your worst fears or something like that and make you go crazy. And then you start killing yourself because of the happening.
The happening. It's all happening here, ain't it, Mark Wahlberg? It's happening. You're talking to a fucking plastic plant, you stupid fuck.
No. Oh, no.
Why do people even like Mark Wahlberg? He cannot act.
Fuck if I know, dude.
It's because Ted was the greatest movie I've ever seen comedy-wise. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's disgustingly horrible because Seth MacFarlane is not funny.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Seth MacFarlane either. It's too much Seth. He's competing with himself.
He is.
We get it, Seth.
I do all the voices. Yeah, that's great. No one cares.
Admit you're gay. I think he has, right? He is.
I don't know if he has or not yet.
A man cannot sing that many show tunes and not be fucking gay.
I know, right? I will give him this, though. From what I've heard, the Orville's really good.
I heard the Orville's where all the Star Trek fans are now.
Yeah, it is, because Star Trek's a mess.
Yeah, because they turned that into a fucking politics. The Klingons are Trump supporters. Like,
I'm so glad now I went to Klingon language camp.
A lavender marriage suites? What's a lavender marriage?
Unak.
Do you really speak Klingon?
No, not fully. I did go to one once. You think I remember all that shit? It was retarded. No, of course I don't.
I've tried. I've heard Deep Space Nine is pretty good, but I just couldn't get into it. I heard you have to make it past the first season, though.
Yeah,
And
you do. Deep Space Nine has a lot to it. It's actually really good.
I've always liked the Borg
Mm-hmm.
in Star Trek. That's always been my favorite thing. They
You mean the NPCs? Yeah, they're great.
yeah. Lavender marriage is the old school term for what I guess is now referred to as having a beard. Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. He's got a beard, huh?
Lavender marriage. That sounds so gay.
That's how they used to say it in a nice way. See, everybody's saying Deep Space Nine good after the first season. Yeah, that's what I heard. I just couldn't make it past that first season, and I didn't want to miss any part of the story or lore or anything like that. If you guys told me right now I could skip season 1 and go straight to season 2,
I don't think you can because you learn all the stuff about the characters during the first season.
Exactly.
You especially get to know that one dude who's played by what the fuck is this dude's name? I know who he is, and I just forgot his name off the top of my head. It's the guy who plays the fucking
the Irish actor.
No. He's not Irish. He's the guy who plays one of the aliens, but he's the dude that's the the Scorpio killer from fucking Dirty Harry. He's in that as one of the characters. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he's a famous actor for doing a lot of other shit.
Somebody will know.
I'll get his fucking name here. 1 second.
In the chat will know. It's a race. One of the Star Trek nerds versus Gene IMDb'ing it.
Not even I'm just gonna go to fucking this. Let's see. Zodiac Killers. It's Andy Robinson.
Andy Robinson.
Yeah, he plays Garrick.
Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of those people.
He is what he actually is a Cardassian.
He's a Kardashian?
No, Cardassian.
I don't know.
So they're a special race. They're basically, what the fuck is their whole thing? They're almost like they're not space communists. They're almost like space Nazis, I think. The Bajorn, Domination War.
He's just a simple tailor.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. That's what he says. He's a simple tailor, but he's like a super like spy and everything else.
Oh shit! See, now I want to watch fucking Deep Space Nine.
You're welcome. He basically he talks with the one dude that's played by Jeffrey Combs. That's he's a Ferengi. And they talk like one of the best lines is them talking about fucking root beer.
Is Jeffrey Combs in Deep Space Nine?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, he plays the Ferengi.
I don't know what these terms are.
They're the big-eared dudes, that space Jews.
Ferengi. Garth Marenghi?
No, Frank Ferengi.
Darth Marenghi's
Ferengi. the space Jews, because of the merchants in space that sell anything for like money.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they?
They are. Yes. How did you know?
That's the real zombie infection.
Yeah.
All of this, but with zombies. Star Trek zombies. Is there any Star Trek zombie episodes?
I mean, the Borg technically are kind of zombies.
Yeah, I mean, but does that? So then, I always saw the Borg as like Invasion of the Body Snatchers type people.
I mean, kind of, but they are still the same people. They're just, it's almost like the Stroke from Quake.
Okay.
Where their whole thing is that they're based on they're an alien race that was evolved specifically to do something by another race because they're meant to go forward and conquer and make worlds easier for them to like destroy or assimilate. Yeah. I
mean, I like the Borg. I think there's a whole thing with them in Deep Space Nine, right?
There is more with them in Deep Space Nine, yes. And then you have the movie where
the Borg. I've seen the Borg movie, yeah.
Yeah, the Borg movie where it's Captain Kurt's not Captain Kurt. Captain Kurt is in it though. He ends up dying. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he ends up dying in that.
Okay.
And Captain Jean-Luc Picard's clone is basically controlling the entire Borg thing. And then he calls him like his brother and all this other shit.
Okay. Yes, I think I remember Picard looking like a Borg.
Yeah, because he was a Borg once. He was connected to the Borg hive mind.
Right.
And he led a fleet to destroy all this other shit. There was a game on it, too, which I've played before. It's a FMV game where Q's in it. So John DeLacy's a playable character. The whole thing, you can kick him in the nuts.
But with zombies.
Yeah, with zombies.
I'm just trying to keep it on zombies.
We're not going on zombies anymore. We've gone too far. We can't go back now.
We've done if there's been a zombie movie that we have not mentioned or something zombie that we haven't mentioned, now's the time.
Rob Zombie.
Oh Jesus. We did kind of bring up White Zombie.
We did, yes. Very, very much earlier we brought up White Zombie.
I love White Zombie. And now they're just called Scum of the Earth, I think. I was not a fan of. I mean, after like Rob Zombie kind of goes solo, it's it's kind of all downhill for him there. But White Zombie was best zombie, and then of course you have.
You mean you don't want to see Sharon Moon Zombie in all his films?
No. But what I was going to say is that, and then you have Rob Zombie's little brother, Spider Zombie.
Why the fuck is his name Spider?
His name is Spider Zombie, and he is the lead singer for Power Man 5000.
Is he?
Yes, and they did the When Worlds Collide song.
I know the song.
Yes.
I did not know that was his brother.
That is his brother, Spider.
That's a fucking shitty name.
Oh God, Power Man 5000. This is what it's like when worlds collide. So that song was everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
The new metal era. You're damn right. They were everywhere.
Now back to zombies.
Hey, this is zombie stuff.
Not the kind of zombies I'm expecting. This is a bait and switch stream, sir.
Rob Zombie was disappointed by the Dallas crowd last time he was here.
Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe he had more fans come out. He wouldn't have been so disappointed.
Why does he always look so dusty?
He does. He looks like he's covered in fucking dust, like he is a zombie.
He does. He just looks like he's always
fucking dirty. Take a fucking bath, Rob.
Cut your fucking hair.
How old is he now, too?
Like when you're young, right? You want to do that. You want to be that scary horror guy when you're young. But when you get older, there's nothing scarier than the devil in a suit.
Yeah.
And and with the reputation you've achieved as Rob Zombie, if you went like more like a clean cut look, I think you'd be even scarier.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to tell Rob, that's his thing. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was dusty. He just always looked dusty to me. I don't know why.
Dust Zombie and Dusty.
He took a real shit.
Oh, that's what I finally found another concept. Zombies caused by dust.
Oh my goodness. Zombies caused. So there's something in the dust?
Yes.
So there's like a little particle.
Yes.
Little dust particles.
Little infectious dust particles that cause the zombies to be zombies. And thing is, the unique thing about these zombies are they'll still act like people. They do everything else, but then they just fall to dust eventually.
Right. Okay. They've only got a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Right. I see. Because usually in zombie movies, the whole thing is when will they starve to death?
Yeah.
When do they finally starve to death? When do they actually stop?
Yeah, but these, it's only like, I'd say a day is all they get before they fall completely to dust. And they know they're infected. They'll feel it. They'll feel like they'll cough and everything else. There are signs.
Oh, so when they cough, like dust comes out and shit.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
And then after the 24-hour cycle, then they just go poof, if all the dust.
Somebody needs to be writing all these ideas down.
You write that down.
Because when when Hollywood comes knocking.
I'll tell them to leave.
I'll say, get the fuck out of here, pedophile. If anybody has any ideas for zombie movie, let us know. Like, tell me right here. I love discussing that type of shit. I love the pitch with was it Midnight in
Exile? Yeah,
I love that show. They don't do it enough as far as I'm concerned. But I love like creating movies like that or stories and shit. Even if you don't do anything with them, they're fun as a creative tool.
Yeah. For Zigzag, this is the end. I just made a reference to The Thief and the Cobbler. Why? Because I felt like it. Screw you, chat.
Nobody has any idea.
Nope. Unless they watched it.
Nobody watched it.
I posted it in chill yesterday, chat. I'm disappointed if you didn't watch it.
I have it saved. I just haven't watched it yet.
I'm disappointed in you right now. My disappointment hit just above the line of mental retardation.
Let me tell you, I don't want to be in the wrong mind to watch it. You know what I mean? I want to watch it, because then if I'm not in the right mind, I won't have.
Don't watch that movie on drugs. Is all I'm saying, because you will not enjoy that.
I don't know. I've watched some pretty crazy shit while I've been on drugs.
This movie is like being on drugs without being on drugs.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And Vincent Price's last speaking role. So that's how it all ties together, because I'm going to tie that into The Last Man on Earth, which technically is not a zombie movie, but they act like zombies.
But it is very reminiscent of the way we kind of look at that. Came out before or after Night of the Living Dead?
I think it came out before.
And I mean, it is kind of, it does have a lot of similarities between it, even if it is
based on a book. It's based on Omega Man.
Right. And there is a lot of like fortifying your area where you're at and shit like that.
Just siege it. Siege.
Making your weapons and making sure you're stocked up with that kind of shit. Having to like take the dead away from your area, and get rid of that.
Yep. And burning them too, and just dropping them into pits. Like, it was a huge fire pyre. That's what they were trying to do. That's how they tried to get rid of it. Didn't work though.
Yeah.
And the best thing I find better than the Will Smith movie, because I really didn't care that much for I Am Legend. What I liked a lot more was the fact that even though it's supposed to be like the same thing, like the guy who's the main vampire, quote unquote, in I Am Legend, supposed to be like his former friend. His one is actually his former brother-in-law, who was a lawyer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he keeps like he taunts him with it too. He's like, you couldn't save my sister, you couldn't save your daughter, you can't save me, and you can't save anyone else.
Right.
And the funny thing is, like, near the end of the movie, he actually comes up with the cure for stuff, but it's in his own blood, and he's basically been trying to do it the whole time. And then they kind of realize as they're killing him, like, oh shit, we could have saved ourselves.
Yeah, because then there's Omega Man, right?
Yeah, there's another one. It was a colored one, like in the 1970s or 80s, where Omega Man, where it was more downplayed. It was another retelling of the Omega Man story, where The Last Man on Earth was technically more of an adaptation of all the books. It's like a trilogy, I think.
Right.
But most of the ones I know is focused on is the Omega Man.
Well, I Am Legend is just terrible.
Yes.
The CGI is so bad.
It is.
You couldn't just do makeup. Like, you couldn't just have people in makeup and shit. Like, and you could have hired a bunch of like, acrobats and shit like that to like run around and jump around. Bunch of parkour.
Parkour hardcore.
What are they called? Parkourists?
Mm-hmm.
Parboiled. Parkourians.
Parkourians.
Is that a Star Trek alien race?
No.
Parkourians. Well, it is now.
It is now.
I think we covered all the zombie stuff. So, I mean, you guys have anything you want to talk about, I mean, we can still talk about some horror movies. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't want to talk about anything. I'm done.
I'm angry now.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, it's very interesting that zombies went from a very niche genre that no one knew what they really were based on. And that's why the kind of mystique is, I guess, for zombies, because no one knows about the Haitian rituals and shit.
Yeah.
They didn't, but now they do. But they still don't really. They always, people think, oh, well, there's just gonna be a zombie up. No, it's not. It's not gonna happen. I hate to break it to all the people that get their bunkers or doomsday prep shit. That's not gonna happen. There's not gonna be no zombie virus. If anything, it'd be close to a mad cow disease virus, and we could break it down easily. It wouldn't be that bad.
Steve just reminded me of a movie that I forgot to mention. It's called Cooties.
Cooties.
Yeah, it's like all the kids at a preschool kindergarten, they all turn into zombies, and all the adult teachers have to fight them off and shit.
Mm-hmm. That was actually probably more based on the scene from Dawn of the Dead where the kids are the zombies and they have to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And he struggles to do it too because they struggle to do it too.
Just get me on for the Asian horror topic show, Sweets Parade. Yeah, we can do Asian horror because we don't really have a schedule, but I don't know. You want to do Asian horror on Friday or Saturday, Gene?
Friday sounds good for me if I'm not doing anything.
Sweets, are you going to be around on Friday?
You don't sleep, so I imagine you're going to be around.
Just don't sleep through it. Don't get us up here talking about Asian horror. And
don't sleep. Don't sleep. Never sleep. Russian sleeper. Experiment with Sweets.
The movie that Gene put in Shill is called
The Thief and the Cobbler.
The Thief and the Cobbler.
It is a movie that was 30 years in the making, and it is actually closer to the story of Aladdin than the actual Aladdin Disney movie.
Did y'all talk about The Faculty? Does that count as drones or zombies or body snatchers?
It's more, I'd say, more body snatchers than anything else.
Yeah, it's supposed to be its own take on body snatchers. I love The Faculty. I'm a big fan of that movie. I would say they're definitely more body snatchers and definitely more alien because I mean, obviously, but I wouldn't call them zombies. No, though there are some zombie aspects to them, like when they die and come back sometimes.
Wilford Brimley is the ultimate zombie in The Thing.
Speaking of that, I went through. I don't think Wilford Brimley is the first one to get infected.
You don't know?
No, I think it is the white guy that is in. He's tied in the chairs, remember, and he turns finally after the test.
Uh-huh.
I think it's that guy. I think he's the first one because when you go, he spends a lot of time in his room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the dog goes into the room, and when you see the dog licking his hand, the shadow is very similar to his body type. The hair is very similar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's him.
But you don't think so? You think he went to touch Wilford Brimley?
I think somehow, I think somehow that happened because everybody gets split up in that movie too, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard to keep track of who is infected.
Mm-hmm. I will still always go with my theory. It's Wilford Brimley this entire time. He was the first infected. His diabetes just led it to him.
Oof. Diabetes.
His diabetes made him the perfect carrier.
I've heard you can tell who the infected are when their clothes change because the thing rips through their clothes and everything like that. So if somebody is wearing a jacket in one scene and then in the next scene they have a different jacket on, it means they're infected. But again, I'd have to watch the movie with all those things in mind. The only reason I said that is because I was actually watching a video on the thing. And
also, I just saw Mello tweeted out that the 40K live stream is finally here for Nick Rekieta, so he's going to be talking about that soon. Someone go in chat and tell him how Dark Eldar are the best for me. Thank you.
He'll probably have Jim on, yeah.
Yeah, they'll talk about it and be nerds. Tell them how Dark Eldar are the best in 40K. Someone needs to do that for me. Thank you.
Nick
I'm not
Riccida's
gonna do it. I'll probably go troll Ghost eventually at some point.
channel, Hawk. Sweets, I'll do my best to see time schedule wise, and yeah. Sweets, if we're gonna do Asian horror on Friday, so you better be ready.
Better be better, be
Or if
better.
you're not
Be
going to be
ready.
around, let us know and we'll push it back to when you've got time,
Mhm.
because we know you really want to talk about that. And I like Asian horror too. Asian horror's got some great. You mentioned some really good movies last time, like Frankenstein Girl versus Vampire Girl, I think,
Mhm.
and Tokyo Gore Police. Um, there was a couple, Mutant Girl Squad, Machine Girl. Shit. There's always a bunch.
I decided I would type that in all caps for the chat. Trash elves forever for the Dark Eldar.
Trash elves forever.
Can watch Asian horror movies on Rabbit. I guess you can talk over the movies. I don't know if you can talk over stuff on Rabbit. I know you can only play it. I never seen it where you can talk over something.
Yeah, we're still figuring that out and working on it. The whole thing with that is one mistake, and then we can't do any streams.
Yeah.
We'd have to do them on. I mean, we'd have to do them on Gene's channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to take the hit. I'm just trying to. Before we get to that point, I'm trying to get some other streams done first.
The guard will hold the line, Gene. You will not win. I will always win. I have dark powers and dark gods at my disposal. I will win.
Are there's zombies at Nurgle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Except technically they're not fully zombies most of the time. When they're zombies, they're actually more sentient and alive. And out of all chaos, they are more calm than like any other chaos faction.
Right. But they don't like eat you and turn you to zombies.
No, not really. That's more fantasy where you'd see that anyways, and it'd be with the vampire counts.
Right.
Since they have zombies and skeletons and all that.
I was watching Captain Marvel over. Why would you watch Captain Marvel, Steve?
Oh god.
Huck says it's fucking trash. Yeah, I didn't even need to see it.
And somebody had their mic on during the movie. The host of the channel kicked them out. I don't know why you'd watch Captain Marvel either, Steve. That's not a advisable choice. Carol has no ass when that's her defining character trait throughout all of comics till SJWs took over.
Nurgle Marines have grenades that will turn people to zombies.
Yep, they do. They have grenades
cool.
that are skulls that are basically people heads that they put pustule and file in and all this other shit for diseases. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm a diehard Marvel. Don't say that. Don't say that, Huck. To me the whole Marvel superhero thing is it's going the way of the zombies. It's collapsing, in my opinion.
It is.
I understand why people like that, and that's cool. And there are a couple Marvel movies that I do enjoy.
I'm gonna say this now because I feel like it. The original one of the biggest two contributors of Marvel comics in the '60s were both Jewish men.
Oh no,
Stan Lee and Jack Kurbowitz.
I'm a DC guy myself, Huck.
And DC has as much Jewish writers too.
I like to make my opinions based on firsthand experience. Steve, I will judge things by the trailer. I don't care. Most of the time I see things and I go, yeah, you know what? That looks terrible. And then it comes out and I'm right.
I sometimes am one to judge things by my own hand experience too, without bashing things. But just saying all that shit, how much I really don't already like Marvel cinematic movies, yeah, no.
Sandman and Watchmen were the closest to Western comics I got into, says Sweets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really mind Watchmen and Sandman. I think that's Neil Gaiman, right?
Neil Gaiman is Sandman, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he is overrated. So is fucking Alan Moore. I hate to break it to people, but they're both overrated faggots.
They are kind of douchebags.
Yes, they are. They're both douchebags. Alan Moore had to talk all about how Steve Ditko didn't know anything about him, how Stanley was this and that when they died. Yeah, real great, Alan. Go fucking kiss your snake python god and be a hippie some more. Go fuck off. And I liked Alan Moore's work too. I do like a few things he's written, like The Killing Joke, even though he hates it. And a few other things he's actually written. He did some of the Swamp Thing stuff that was pretty decent, but fuck him.
Joke too. I'm a DC guy myself, or at least I used to be. I mean, with social justice invading both areas of everything, you know.
I'll just read comics without it. I don't need it.
And my whole thing is like, when I watch movies, I don't pay for them. I pirate that shit. I recommend everybody pirate everything, honestly. They don't deserve a goddamn dime. But that's me. And I, like I said, I got a friend who's a huge Marvel fan too. He's never read the comics or anything like that, and he doesn't really know about anything outside of the movie universe, you know. But he's also a massive Star Wars fag. So.
Oh, you mean the basic entry stuff for being a nerd, right?
I like some anime. I was just talking about this with Gene before.
Yeah.
But all my anime, I'm not really into the new anime. My anime is like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Tekken Concrete, Ninja Scroll, stuff like that.
Did you watch Yu Yu Hakusho?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
Dead Leaves, if anybody's seen Dead Leaves.
Fucking Dead Leaves.
Oh, dude, Dead Leaves, man. That movie's a trip.
That's because it's Gainax.
Oh, yeah.
Gainax is always trippy. They made FLCL, too.
There's a couple other ones.
They made this one called Ninja Pirate Bunny as well.
Tekken Concrete really speaks to me on a personal level. There's a couple other ones I'm missing that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Dragon Ball Z.
No, I've actually never really watched any Dragon Ball Z. I always know a lot about some of those
things. Time, Jenova was sitting down talking with Gene as Dragon Ball Z was being discussed, and the powers were waiting horribly in the chat. Everyone wanted to see Jim, but Jim wasn't on yet with Nick Rekieta. Well, we're here. And then Gene died, but he's died already, so it doesn't really matter.
And then Gene died narrating this episode. But yes, the visual aspects of the city were really awesome in Tekken Concrete. I heard I should watch. I heard what's it called? JoJo Joestar. Is that?
Everyone's been mentioning that recently. It's because it's been around since the 70s, and it's horror themed to some point. The main villain in it for the longest part is Dio, who basically gives up his humanity to become a vampire because of an ancient Aztec mask that turns people into vampires.
Right.
It doesn't really. You get all this stuff about like ancient hidden techniques of aberration called the Hamon. But then it goes to like fighting pillar men, which are men made of literal stone. They're all like muscular and fucking Aztec themed.
Vampire Hunter D. That's the one I was trying to think.
Oh, that was the one you were trying to think of? Yeah.
There was another one that I
You mean the one that's a big ripoff of Solomon Kane?
Is it?
Technically, yeah. There's parts of it that takes stuff from Solomon Kane.
But I definitely enjoy Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing from Witch Hunters you see from anything in Fantasy 40, Warhammer, and all this other stuff, even Inquisitioners and stuff like that, are all based on Solomon Kane's like whole Puritan pragmaticism with how he's, he's technically like a man between all the worlds and times too, because he basically is a puritanical thing, but he has like the soul of a swashbuckler and all this other shit. Yeah, it's because Robert E. Howard wrote him. He had to make him actiony.
Yeah. As I always like to stick to the classics. I'm sure there's some new stuff out there that I would definitely. What was that, Goblin Slayer?
Yeah, you'd like that.
Yeah, I've heard I should be watching that too. Um, I just Samurai Champloo. That shit's good. I like that shit. Afro Samurai. That shit's good.
There's no such thing as a black samurai.
Paranoia Agent.
Let's just talk about this right now. There's no such thing as a black samurai.
I
Besides
don't
that
know.
one, besides that one dude that historically was black, because he came from like Africa as a slave and learned how to be a samurai or some shit.
Cowboy Bebop. That's a good one.
That Netflix series is god awful.
Oh, is it?
There's a Netflix series of Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
Is it live action?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Did you ever watch Outlaw Star?
No.
That's what Josh Whedon based Firefly off of.
Oh yeah. You know what? I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard every time somebody brings up Firefly, there's always somebody else that goes, "Yeah, well, that's just a ripoff of Outlaw Star."
Yeah. Outlaw Star is great. Sorry, I'm talking about the animes. I know some people in here in the chat possibly don't like the animes, but Jim is actually an anime fan too, so take that into consideration.
I mean, it's not that anime like.
I just hate the fact people think it's better than like anything else. It's not. It's just its thing. Just let things be their things. They're not better. You're not better for liking anime. You're not better for liking this or that.
Hellsing is good too. I remember.
Yeah.
Hellsing.
They made a newer version of Hellsing that was better with better animations and everything else too.
Paranoia Agent. I said that already. I really liked Paranoia Agent. And there was and the it's not SG-1. That's Stargate. It's the show for Standalone Complex, the Ghost in the Shell show.
Yeah. And then they made a live action of that too.
Oh, I hated that movie so much. I hated it because I'm such a big fan of Ghost in the Shell, and fuck if I did not like that movie. Like it had a Beat Takeshi in it, who I'm always a fan of him, but goddamn, what were they doing with that movie?
Do you think they know? They don't know.
It was like they were trying to like push everything together. Like all the different stories. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna push it all in here together." I hate Scarlett Johansson. Her face is so dumb. She's watch her anytime and she's in a movie and she's not talking. Look at her face. It's dumb. She's making stupid facial expressions. There's nothing there. She's just like, I'll just sit here with my big pouty lips
and my big booty.
And I'll just wait, and then hopefully I can fuck another director to get a part. Oh no, Huck likes her. Sorry, Huck, I don't mean to. I remember they spent. Yeah, I remember there were.
I remember Scarlett Johansson being one of the people with Rodney Downey Jr. who were all being, "Oh, you guys need to still vote, even though we don't vote."
Oh yeah.
So fuck them both. Thank you, television monkeys, for telling me how to vote. I love you so much. Now go back in your cage and be your really stupid parts.
On them, didn't it? Please vote. Shut up. You're not real people.
No, they are not.
You have fucking handlers. I remember there's been talks of a live action Akira going on for so long.
You're so looking forward to it, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I love the fact, especially when I hear things like Leonardo DiCaprio is such a huge fan and he bought the rights. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't want Leonardo DiCaprio anywhere near my fucking Akira.
But Tetsuo. I like how the comic's actually even darker than the movie was, but they kind of still end the same.
Yeah.
I just go in some asshole to mention Tetsuo. No one cares.
Canada. Oh my god. I I remember the first time I saw Akira, and they're doing like the bike chase with the clowns, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they stop and like they grab I think it's Canada's fucking girl. And they like rip her shirt off and punch her in the face. I was like, that's hardcore shit, man.
Yeah, it wasn't the Canada's girl, it was Tetsuo's girl.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because Canada ends up liking the other chick who basically becomes one of those psychic kind of people too.
That fucking bike is so badass. There's not a live Akira, right?
No, not yet.
For some reason, I kept thinking that I was seeing like a live action
Not
Akira.
yet.
Oh, I know it's coming. Taki Watiti is trying to direct the live action remake. Really? Of Akira?
Why are they doing a remake of it?
I just don't see him directing. He's the guy who did What We Do in the Shadows and Thor Ragnarok. And I just don't see him being able to I just
make
don't
New
see
Tokyo?
I just can't see
Sorry,
that.
Neo Tokyo, that's what it's called. Like every fucking cyberpunk song you now hear labels it all the time. Oh, let's talk about Neo Tokyo.
At least a decade, sweets. I remember hearing about live action remake back when blockbusters were still around.
Heyo. Heyo. I like the fact that in the film they think this like old woman is supposed to be a man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one like Shinto priest was actually a woman. That's not a dude.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
It's essentially backburned indefinitely. Good. Leave it there. Look at it. Look at how bad they fucked up. Like, I have not seen the Cowboy live action show. And my buddy, who's a massive Cowboy Bebop fan, I don't even know if he knows that that's around. I'm going to have to tell him about it.
And then your buddy ends up committing Sudoku.
Oh, he probably would. Although he did like the Ghost in the Shell movie, and he's a massive Ghost in the Shell fan too. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? You liked this movie?
Mm-hmm.
I can't handle it. Just leave the shows alone.
We must touch them with our Western influence.
Let them be what they are.
Let us touch them with our Western influence, like dropping an atomic bomb.
Yeah. I can't even.
That's a great not horrid joke at all.
There's definitely there's got to be some other horror anime out there, right? That I'm not.
There are,
of.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot actually.
I know there's.
Now, I don't know how much of them have zombies in them, but there's that Spawn anime.
Yeah, that's not a bad. That wasn't a bad show. It was.
No, I'm not talking about the HBO series. There was an actual like manga series for the Spawn shit.
Oh, okay.
Where it's set in Japan and shit. It only lasted like 2 issues.
I think there was also some. What's his name? Junto.
I don't know.
His name is he does a lot of like his big thing is the spiral.
Junto Ito, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff like that, like weird shit.
Yeah, and I think there were a couple live action.
Yeah, there were some. There were some that made of is like the spiral was one of them they did make. Yeah. Another was like this one where this person like just stares and their face gets all contorted and shit.
Yeah, or the crevices.
Yeah. This hole was made for me. It fits me perfectly.
And yeah, Tomy. Yeah, this one was made for me, and they just sink into like nothing. It's creepy, man. And then there's that one story about the lady that lives across from the kid, and she keeps telling him she's gonna come over. And her window keeps getting closer and closer to his.
There's also Umarki, Poseidon.
Isn't that the spiral?
I don't know.
Or is that Uzumaki?
That's Uzumaki. Because Uzumaki means like that shell.
Right.
It's that spiral you see in ramen sometimes too.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and that like, oh, he's got good work. That guy's got really good
Oh, I
work.
see Esau's already put his fucking car videos in the Bantarant section.
Oh shit.
These are not what I consider great
I'm
cars,
sure.
but
I'm
okay.
sure that's gonna be great.
I'm sure he's gonna lose his shit tomorrow when I have better car videos.
Oh, Parts Hunter. I used to read those books. Those are the ones where it's like it's it's not Pokemon, but it's weird because
I'll
they've got
poke
like,
your mon.
oh, whoa, it's getting hot in here. Woo. Um, yeah, so it's not that I don't necessarily not watch anime. I am familiar with it, but I haven't kept up with a lot of the new stuff. I'm always looking for recommendations and stuff like that. I like to increase my library of stuff.
Your illegal library, Mr.
My
Federal Agent.
illegal library. As a federal agent, I am allowed to have these things, and I am allowed to.
We could just yell each over all fucking day.
Blah blah blah.
But yeah, we've really kind of gone dry on the zombie thing, and now just kind of rambling.
Yeah, I guess we can shut it down. Wrap
Shut
it
it
up.
down.
But I appreciate everybody coming out.
Yeah.
Ooh, sweets. Set a time.
I guess
aside
I
time.
guess though, if we were really talking about it though, we are setting the precedent for anime things now and all this other stuff for the next show next time, which will be all about Asian horror. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and that means anime is not off the table for that either, because there are plenty of Asian horror themed animes
we
too.
can talk about it. Everything horror. I don't mind it at all.
Nope.
I definitely anything horror music, horror video games, horror books, anime, movies, television shows, you name it. For even true crime. I love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, DM us, sweets. Let us know. Usually same time, around 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever that is for you. Next show is probably going to be Friday.
Yeah.
We'll say yes. It's not probably. It will be on Friday.
Yeah.
And if Sweets is available, she'll be on to talk to us about Asian horror.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to re-up on some of my Asian horror knowledge because there's so many Asian horror films that I've seen. Sometimes they end up, all blurring together because a lot of them, the culture is a lot of the same in a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate everybody showing up tonight and bearing with us. I know zombies isn't the most exciting thing to talk about, but I definitely felt an urge to talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys very much for coming out.
Also, I have to say the Nick Rekieta stream does not start till 12 because I'm looking at it now. It's not actually live anywhere. So, and yeah, well, that's a nice image he has. He has Jim in like a fucking. I'm just looking at it right now before we go. He has Jim on a fucking. It looks like a Blood Raven outfit, like Jim said.
Oh, okay, all right.
I imagine Jim's gonna use that for forever now. Why would you choose the Blood Ravens, Jim?
Jim's got some of the
all the other shit, and you choose the Blood Ravens as your colors. Come on, Jim.
Yeah,
Jim,
I know.
come on, Jim. Come on.
He needs to be a Black Templar. I think because Jade does a lot of Jim's artwork, doesn't he?
Yep.
But yeah, so I'll say it again. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming out. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday.
Yep.
For some Asian horror with sweets.
Yep.
Thank you all.
See you then. Peace, everybody.